Alright, let's
Alright.
see. It looks like we got Aloria and Yam both in here, which is good.
Yeah, we're all set, and it looks like we're going to have Aloria and Yam. They're all set. We're going to be going to Mausoleum for our first match. Fellows TV, thank you for the host love.
Oh, hey, Defer, what's up?
And we're going to dive straight into the ring. Aloria sticking with Min Min, or just going the classic Min Min. Yam going in with Lollipop. That's a skull. That's a Nibbles I saw. I saw Nibbles in Yam's loadout.
Yeah, we got Triblast and the Sparky here on Yam's side, and Aloria going with the hammer that they're famous for, and a Chakram as well, getting stunned there by Yam, and a quick 150 follow-up.
That Whammer actually a very effective tool at closer ranges. It's pretty good at long range, but it can do some serious work at close range just because it moves so much more quickly.
Ooh, trying to go for the double stun right there, not quite getting it, going for the rush, gets canceled
canceled out!
Damn. Oh my gosh.
You really have to be careful of that spread shot. Just the general random fire that Yam's loadout is capable of, it's really easy just to be caught off guard by it.
Yeah, especially
Aloria's
if
loadout definitely not gonna
kind of go for like a more offensive Lola strat. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna be covered, and you don't even have to worry that much about getting aim correct. And Yam is gonna go ahead and take round one pretty easily.
Both players are actually being very aggressive in this match. Usually something you don't see too much, at least in the NA area. They're just diving right in there, getting some feisty grabs. Yam starting off with a nice start.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen an offensive Lola, especially in the European scene, which is considered, you know, more defensive overall than like North America or Japan. So it's interesting that Yam is just out here going in and just peppering Aloria with all these shots. Who's gonna go for the rush? Actually is gonna miss it. No cancel by Yam, but the attempt was made.
The Parasol's large body and the Chalcom Rush just effectively allowing Aloria to avoid getting punished. Unfortunately, even though the Chalcom has that huge range, it just could not reach Yam with that safe movement.
Yeah, Yam was very smart and skirted the inside curve there, which is way less steep than the outside curve. Yam is kind of getting pressured right now, but still has a 75% health as opposed to Aloria's only 25. Rush is available, arm breaking, but not really a huge capitalization off of it.
Yam now also ready for a rush. Now it's just really whoever is going to be able to land their claim. Aloria, chances are holding onto that rush just to try to counter out Yam's.
Yam is probably going to go in as soon as they find an opening to maybe go for a Sparky confirm. I think they're even a charged Triblast away from taking this.
If they can just time it out too, that's also a solid option. And here is a good moment to go in for that rush.
Yeah, Aloria tried to go for the counter rush, but it just didn't activate before the Triblast bolts started hitting him in the face.
I guess you could say Yam really went ham on that match.
I understand, and I can appreciate this joke, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you a bit.
That was good, and it hurt. Because
it works even better because you are Ham.
I am Ham.
Speaking of which, our casters today are Malieve and Hamma.
Yes. Oh, okay, they're gonna go to Scrapyard for this one.
So, Aloria taking us to a very defensive stage in response to what just happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's respectable, especially since Yam was playing very aggressively, very in your face, going on the Scrapyard, which already is a really good stage for Min Min. Will allow Aloria to kind of run his own game a little more.
Yeah, should give him a little bit of breathing room, get his tempo rolling, start things off, and once Aloria's got tempo rolling, as a Min Min, it's just really scary. So I'm guessing Aloria's hoping to take advantage of that. Has a roaster in tow. That's definitely going to help out.
Like, Yam is going to be going with the Sparky and Nibbles.
Nibbles?
I can't call it anything other than Nibbles now, Malik. You've ruined it and called Scorpio. It's just Nibbles.
I've genuinely forgotten the name of that arms because all I can think of is the name Nibbles. Tries to go in for the grab, but Yam did end up walking behind the pillar, and Aloria was able to take advantage of that and just safely avoided a punish on that setup.
Oh, looks like Yam is trying to take the high ground. Aloria not going to give it up easily, though. Still doing some good work and pressuring from the bottom right there. Gets the knockdown, but Yam going right back up to the top.
Aloria actually taking advantage of that just huge difference in height, as there was just a wall that allowed Aloria to effectively protect himself, and he would just hop up here and there, throw a flurry of arms, and then just sit back down nice and safe. It was really difficult for Yam to punish.
Yeah, Yam is having a really difficult time getting in now that there's more room on the map. This Parasol is doing a lot more work and helping keep Aloria safe, getting some nice parries. Oh, good shield parry backwards right there, able to retreat, and now Aloria has taken the high ground.
Just looking for a little bit more damage, slowly grinding up Rush. Likely will not even want to use Rush, just maybe trading safely, playing relatively safely. Only 17 seconds left on the clock, and even if Yam threw out the Rush, it might not even be close to enough. Now it would be enough.
Yeah, Brilliant wants to get a Sparky confirm into that, though. He does get one punch in there. I think... Oh, he's gonna burn it.
Oh, there, he's gonna safely block it.
Just gave Aloria Rush in the process, too. That shows how much the map changing can just do for your overall play. Aloria, though it was close, was more in control of the map, the pace of the match for longer.
And really helped him out. Both players sticking with their loadouts. Nibbles, pretty good tool. He has a lot of, there's a lot of awkward things about him, but it's one of the more complicated arms in this game. If you're able to figure out how to really work with it, you can do some scary things. Just being able to have a solid curve arm and a solid just approach arm.
Oh, speaking of solid curve arm, that Chakram Rush gonna do 310 damage to Yam, and has now backed him into the corner. He's pressured against this back of the scrapyard corner.
A really difficult setup for Yam to kind of punch through too, as the Parasol is a very defensive arm, and the Chakram's huge girth is just allowing Aloria to safely punch down everything Yam is throwing out.
Oh,
that Rush going to be safely blocked.
Yeah, Aloria only a couple punches now from getting his Rush. Keeping in the air, getting a nice stun and a knockdown. Rush online if Yam goes into the air unsafely. Oh! The Scorpio was trying to be punched through, but Yam was safe enough in that little area.
Just taking advantage of those little spaces, Yam was able to just eke out of the way as Nibbles was pulled back from that Rush, and he was able to safely shield.
Oh.
And now is in a solid lead. Just looking to make sure that Aloria does not get any kind of Chakram combo set up. That's pretty much all that could do it, and that's not going to happen. One more hit brings the score to 1-1.
At the end there, it kind of seemed like Aloria was getting screwed over by the lag on the end of kickflip. If maybe he had just input the dash a little more diagonally, he could have gotten Dragon Arm up a little bit sooner. But the kickflip lag really allowed Yam to put some arms out there that were gonna hit no matter what. Aloria was just in a bad situation and is still against a wall right now, but is a little more in control of the match than before thanks to that roaster.
Out comes the Rush. It's not gonna connect. Could not line up that glove. And now Aloria gonna take advantage of that to dive in, but is only going to corner Yam. Chooses to not go for the shield chip damage just to make sure Yam does not have a Rush lead here.
And Aloria now has Yam against, is a little bit maybe too close for comfort. These situations are always really dicey, but Aloria is staying right here, gets another stun combo, throwing Yam all the way across the stage.
And is now looking for just one more hit, one more combo right there.
Yam shielded the confirm after the stun. I guess Aloria has been going for a lot of double stuns. So maybe he thought if he had time, he could just shield the second one, but not the case, mixing it up with the grab, taking game 2.
I don't have any puns for this one.
Mazo and Temple gonna be banned.
Some pretty solid counter picks, just make sure those aren't there. Mazo was the stage Aloria lost in. Temple Grounds, it can actually be a pretty aggressive stage. It can be a really rough stage to be in if your opponent is in the advantage state, as those corners are there, the height advantage. So Illuria definitely making a pretty solid call just to make sure that's not there. So Yam can't just be bouncing all over the place and just have so much high ground to work with.
Alright, Yam typing out, gonna go... Oh, they're staying on Scrapyard, really?
Both seem to be enjoying the mechanics of Scrapyard. I don't disagree with them. It's a pretty solid stage.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe they're gonna be rocking another loadout for this time around. Something that'll allow them to control the stage a little better. Maybe they have thought of some kind of change in their gameplay that they can make that'll better allow them to kind of get in and stay in. Because we saw a lot that Yam was getting those damages on escaping rather than getting up in Aloria's face. That was Aloria that time that was doing so much of the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
No change in set, actually. Okay, interesting.
But a simple change of approach, a simple change of approach like that Tri-Blast can easily change up this match. But Aloria seems to be already in with a good idea, throwing on the Parasol and the Chakram again. That's probably going to help out a lot against this loadout Yam has in the stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we can't see Tri-Blast be a more defensive arm. That's how we see it when Chico used to rock that a lot. But it'll be hard kind of for Yam to go for more pressure, since Aloria has two medium arms and two very good ones at hitting stuff down at that.
Oh, they're very exceptional for just kind of boxing out things like light arms.
Or we do see Yam with a health advantage right now, going in and punishing Aloria when they go for dashes. Gonna go for the grab right there. That was a little bit dicey on the range. Could have, if it was a little bit further, Aloria might have been able to get the rush in.
Oh, look at that saucy grab going right in there.
Yeah, Aloria, it needs to try to make a little bit of work happen. It's at about a 50% health deficit. It is now possibly one punch away from, yeah, the Tri-Blast bolt coming in.
Exactly one. That just working out well for Yam. Yam now one round away from taking this. The Tri-Blast really helped out, but Yam just seems to have decided that they don't want that Tri-Blast anymore. Potentially just the frustration of, while it worked out there, it's probably still not the funnest thing to have to try to deal with a Chakram and a Parasol.
Yeah, Aloria, though, has switched off of that Parasol into a Roaster. A much faster arm, better at punishing, just not as defensive. But it does couple very nicely with the curving arms, controlling a lot of space. But Yam going in and getting that grab off of the high ground with the Russian token, put a lot of pressure up. Goes for the rush, does start landing it, lands first with the Sparky into the nibbles and gets 335 damage.
Gets another 12 on top of that because of the poison stack that the poison elemented arms such as Nibbles is capable of landing.
Yam choosing to play the distance game right now, really not wanting Aloria to get in, backing up with Lola's shield. When he can, tries to go for some sneaky super dash options. The rush coming out.
Oh, there's a good rush moment.
That's gonna land. This is swinging the health back into Aloria's favor. Yam kind of did a poor job at controlling the space and didn't really challenge when Aloria went in, and that's led to Yam's pressure just being destroyed.
Yam now one hit away from getting KO'd. Is just looking to survive from here. A lot of this matchup, both players excel at being aggressive, and you can tell that they really, really struggle against when being defensive. As whoever has the upper hand just has the upper hand. Aloria or Yam making a wise choice, going back to the Tri-Blast here, hoping that it'll help out a little bit more with this final round. Whoever takes this will be moving on in the brackets.
Yam does have to play kind of carefully. Goes for the rush right here. Maybe got a read. Does break the shield. Does about a quarter of health right there. But Aloria has the rush now, and Yam is having to back off. Nice mix-up grab right there. Reading that Yam was going to try to read a rush. Oh!
And catches the Tri-Blast, not even allowing it to explode, and lands a heavy amount of damage off that rush.
Ooh,
Yam now in a very dominant position.
Oh,
goes for the grab a little bit earlier, allows Yam to get a nice punish, and now Yam immediately turning around and is on the offensive, both just diving in. Neither one is defensive this time. Nobody wants to hold back.
It's like
As
watching two swans mating right now. They're constantly just circling around each other, going for weird aerial game. Yim has Rush right now. Aloria about 3/4 of the way. Rush going for it right there. Aloria, though, not really at a distance where you can punish like that. And Yam
Aloria baited that Rush out with the Chakram. And
yeah,
is
now
now
Aloria
looking...
has all of the advantage. Yam going to the top platform. Not going to get the cancel, and that Rush is going to be it. Aloria is moving on over Yam.
Just played those last few moments very well. Just used the Chakram, got the stun, but didn't go for the grab. Just that range, that distance. Aloria likely feared that Yam might be able just to pull off a Rush there. And that's exactly what Yam did. And Aloria just safely was able to block it and get out of the way as they recognized that threat. And allowed them to kind of follow up and get the first win.
In the end, a lot of that match came down to conditioning and how Aloria thought that Yam would respond to things, and a lot of the time, he was right. Yam just kind of fell into the conditions that Aloria really wanted to set up.
That was a very exceptional play there. Yam definitely doing a very solid job too, though, as we saw two arms that are very strong against Triblast, and that's the round Yam won in that final match. Like, how do you have to be so solid with your movement to get around those two arms and just power through them, and that's exactly what Yam did. Having some admirable plays there. Unfortunately, Aloria was a few steps ahead and was able to take around the match.
Yeah, Yam does have the losers round that they can make. Where do they go in this one? Loser of 10. Okay. Yeah, Yam is already guaranteed to be into losers round 2. So we'll have to fight the loser of Defer versus either Grimwood or Tomazo. So that's going to be kind of a tough matchup, but...
yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty tough one to work with.
Let's see what they got cooking over in the EU server. Looks like just waiting on the other matches to finish up right now. Okay, Penzo. Yes, you're right. That was a really weird analogy. But have you ever seen swans mating? It's really freaking cool. They're just like doing like a little dance around each other. It's really weird to watch, but it's kind of cool. It's elegant. And then they'll come and peck your eyes out if you give them bread.
I mean, well, when you think about it, most analogies kind of don't work out very well. They're all generally... if you really look into any analogy, they kind of fall apart, because that's not what an analogy is supposed to be. It's not something that lines up one-to-one. It's supposed to be like an interpretation where you can, if you look at the base material, you can look at the other base material and be like, oh, I see how they relate. It's not like talking about... the other way is you're just looking for a Family Guy sketch. That's basically what it would become.
No. Oh, I get... oh, Family Guy.
We don't need those in our lives.
Family Guy funny moments are probably my favorite thing on the internet, not because they're good, but because of how dumb they are. I will never get over Family Guy funny moments and hearing, okay, I hate bringing Era up this early, but I love what I can always tell when, like, if Era is downstairs watching Family Guy with her dad, because she has a very specific laugh she has when she watches Family Guy.
Oh.
And it's just ridiculous. I mean, we got now Grimwood and Defer coming in. Two very powerful deflect users.
Defer has been making a name for himself as of late, placing second in a couple of the Scrapstar series and just generally being a very, very scary player. Grimwood, definitely nobody to sneeze at. He's got a tough brass. He's got a lot of tough tools going on with him. He's also pretty... what's the word? Adjustable? Flexible. He's got a lot of tools he can switch around with and work with.
Oh, you
So
were
can
okay.
allow him
You
to
cut,
be
up,
pretty
you cut off
scary.
in my ear, and you just said he's also pretty. I'm like, damn,
Oh.
you putting the moves on here. I see.
Oh. I've got feelings for Kid Cobra because Kid Cobra is hot, so I'll pass on that one.
It's the classic battle of pretty versus hot.
Hey, pretty one for me is Meta Knight.
Let's see if we're gonna go
uh,
Buster for this right now. Okay, Oh, Grimwood's actually. Well, whoa. Defer running the brass. Grimwood gonna run a Twin Tail. Interesting switching up of characters. Both of them running a T-Bird and a Roaster on here.
I can tell you right here, chances are Grimwood chose not to go brass because he knew Defer knows how to go brass, and Defer probably chose brass because this is Buster Beach.
This is a
So,
classic map for brasses to take you to. I'm surprised. Is Defer not still running Springman? Is he running brass now?
He plays brass and Springman. He generally plays a lot of the deflect characters, and he plays them very well. Starting off this round though, Grimwood is going to be in a very slight health lead, but is going to quickly get pushed into the hot pocket.
Ooh.
Gets out and throws Defer into the pocket.
Oh, goes for a little T-Bird poke right there. Defer, if he had responded a little faster, maybe could have got something. Gets a knockdown right there. Grimwood is pushed up against the back, and it's really hard to escape the back against a brass who's constantly storing up their deflect. Gets a good grab in there. Defer is now knocked down into the red. One hit away. Shields! Grimwood reading it, getting a grab, and taking round one.
Twintel being a very solid pick right here, as her Starstruck ability is just helping her Grimwood out a ton here, as it's a lot more it encourages the brass or the Springman to be a lot more aggressive.
Oh, getting the stun there on Defer's side. Hey, they're both running the same set right now on different arms, but same set, same kind of general game plan they're going for. Defer winning out most exchanges right now. Finally gets stunned. Goes to the rush right there. Grimwood just not at the range and being punished with 300 damage in accordance.
For starting off this round a lot stronger. He is for a little bit more in the hot pocket now, but he does have a nice start. Gonna get caught by that grab.
Spicy.
And now Grim putting that pressure on, using the Starstruck to bait Defer into a shield. And without Rush Ready, Defer has very few options to really work with.
It doesn't hurt that Twin Tail also has the fastest base grab in the game, so Defer has even less time to react to things. He does have a health lead again, but Grim still has the health advantage and is now into Comeback Dad.
Grimwood now just looking for a little bit more damage. A quick confirm with the Thunderbird can easily end this for Defer. He has to be really careful. And with only 30 seconds left on the clock, he really needs to find a strong opportunity to
Rush
go in
coming
for
out.
damage.
It's gonna land right
Gonna
there.
get caught though.
Yeah, Grimwood with that Twin Tail gonna take game one on a stage that's really good for brass. So we gotta see what Defer thinks is gonna happen. If Grimwood is gonna change up his character maybe, or if we're gonna stay with the Twin Tail.
I'd probably say Grim's gonna stick with Twintel. Twintel's a very solid pick against deflect users. She's just so effective at baiting things out, as it really comes down to both of them have very similar defensive motions. Springman with his deflects, Twintel with her Starstruck. But the Starstruck lasts a lot longer and it's just kind of more consistently there. So it allows, rather than having to wait and then catch that right moment to go for a deflect, you just kind of have these set up frequently. So it kind of forces the deflect user to dive in a little bit more, try to catch those in-between moments, and that's a lot more difficult than trying to catch somebody who's got deflect ready.
Deflect is going to be still available, though Defer has gone over to his Springman. A little bit more mobile of a character, does trade off not having the armor or the permacharge with the buff up for a little bit more speed, and Grim is staying with his Twin Tail here, trading off that Thunderbird right now for a Tri-Blast.
Starting off this round, both players trading about even, just holding some solid ground. Both going in with pretty similar loadouts here too, just Tri-Bolt versus Tri-Blast.
It's interesting to think like which is better on which character, because I see Springman does have a lot of, he plays a very close range game, so getting those grab confirms can be very good. Twintelle also has a great grab, so I kind of always wonder what makes people run Tri-Blast or over Tri-Bolt or vice versa. I mean, I run Tri-Bolt because I just like the grabs better, but I know Tri-Blast, the explosion confirms you can get off of it are very dangerous.
I'd probably say it's the roaster versus toaster kind of debate, where Tri-Blast is... I'd probably rate Tri-Blast as the roaster in this case, where it's possible to do a lot more. It's generally a little more stronger. It can do some strong combos still. It's just a little more unwieldy and potentially punish you a bit more, where the Tri-Bolt is just so much more steady and safe to use. It's a lot more reliable.
Yeah, it's almost like a utility versus damage output type argument for what you want to use. And speaking of damage, Defer has taken quite a bit, losing that round to Grimwood again. Let's see if there are going to be any changes. Defer switching off of that Tri-Bolt into the Thunderbird. His tried and true, and Grim getting the pineapple grab to start things off against an opponent with Rush nonetheless.
A lot of people are just not ready for a grab that early into the match. As soon as you dive in, a lot of people just want to try to set up charge or maybe start seeing what their opponent's going to do. And if you just go out for a grab and you get a good read on their movement, you're probably going to be rewarded pretty handedly.
Yeah,
and we're seeing that as Grim now in a very dominant position health-wise.
Oh my gosh, doing really good at evasion too. Those instances where he's missing a grab but they're getting punched out. He's able to move out of the way just in time, finally taking his first hit of damage 40 seconds in.
This Twintelle pick just really working out for him, as it's basically forced Defer just to stop and rely on Deflect entirely. He's just moving back and forth. He's barely even using Deflect, and as soon as Defer starts trying to go into Deflect pattern, we're noticing that Grim just baits out any attack from Defer with that Starstruck.
Defer was able to get the cancel, has the rush right now, but is at a quarter of his health. If he takes like one more shield chip though, he'll be going into Comeback Kid, which will allow Defer to do a lot better just because the game says, hey friendo, I see you're doing not so great there. Let me go ahead and just give you a little pat on your back.
He's only got 16 seconds left, and he needs... If he went for the shield or rush there, that probably would have connected. But now he's got to land about 350 damage to be able to take this.
Grim going for the rush right there. Defer not able to get out of the way in time, and Grimwood is going to take this set 2-0.
A very dominant win there. Just... I'm not too experienced on the matchup. I've dabbled in it lightly. But this only just helps confirm my feelings of how good Twintelle is against Springman. It literally just prevents him from doing most of his options. It just cancels out so many of his tools and abilities that he kind of just is forced to fall into some very basic patterns. And that just gives Twintelle so much more room to work with.
Yeah, Twintelle like has that ability that basically just says, you know, you have to punch first. And that does not do great for Springman, whose, you know, deflect is a tool that you want to punch second with. So if Twintelle just kind of stands in your face and says, what now, Mr. Springman, sir? It's kind of an intimidating thing. You really have to be on point with your reads.
Yeah, you have to be a lot more on top of things at that point. Otherwise, there's a lot of cases it's going to go like that, where Twintelle just has so much safe room to work with, so much breathing space, even in a corner. As soon as she gets a Starstruck out, it's like, oh, well, I guess you have all the options now. I'm just going to wait until you're not having all the options.
Well, guess I'll die. Twintelle, I'm glad we're kind of seeing like I don't want to say a comeback in Twintelle, because Twintelle never really left the meta, but there was I feel like there's been a dying down of the amount of Twintelle mains. You know, it's not like the old days where everybody had a Twintelle, like a pocket. Now Twintelle is seen as a strong character, but I don't think nearly everyone, even at the top level, like has a Twintelle that they play.
Well, the big thing in terms of reasoning as to why Twintelle's kind of died down is she's a very good character competitively, but she's also a very approachable player-friendly character. She's a good character for picking up and understanding the game, and she's not necessarily what most people want to stick with in the long run. A lot of people will want to play her a little bit, have some fun, and then they'll be like, okay, well, now I understand how this game works. I'm going to move over from Twintelle to, say, Ninjara or Springman or a different character. And it just allows for more availability or accessibility in their loadouts. And they'll just start exploring other choices because once they've got the base set up, they got the base set up.
Yeah, is it Yada? I can never remember how to
Yada.
pronounce his name. Okay, Yada is taking Grimwood to Buster again. Playing 3 games in a row here. Let's go.
These folks be enjoying the beach.
And I guess they really enjoy the motion of the ocean. Hopefully
I can't blame them with the weather that's been going on. They're probably looking forward to this warmer weather as much as most people in here in Canada are.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we got over that. I don't know if you guys had it, but we had a polar vortex here a couple of weeks ago that just made things
For
absolutely
us, it's just
awful.
winter.
Oh my gosh.
To be honest, we're not too used to it now, but we were used to it for a while. And see, just as Defer moves out of the ring, Grim gonna immediately slip right back into that brass state, or Max Brass character pick, as he's no longer worried about having to try to counter another brass player, but rather just playing a different character entirely.
Grimwood's got some interesting arms on him too. He has both the Tri-Blast and the Tri-Bolt on his set right now. I guess he's just trying to feel out which would be more versatile for him, which would serve his utility a little better. And right now he's got Yetta in a bad situation. Has him pinned up against, has to back off though, not feeling like his pressure right there was going to be very safe. Probably due to having the disadvantage when it comes to weight class.
Another thing too, Ribbon Girl can be really effective against Mass Brass. Just her movement, much like Twintelle against Brass or Springman, a Ribbon Girl can pull that off too, just with her standard aerial movement. If she's playing patiently enough, it can bait out so many things from a Brass character.
Right now he does need to find something though. He gets hit by a read by Grimwood. That nade is so good at curving. Oh my word.
It's pronounced Yetta.
Yetta, okay, cool. Ooh, this time Yetta is gonna get the first punch, though Grimwood is gonna
that's gonna connect!
His own rush gets only 240 damage, but that's nothing to sneeze at. Damage is damage, and it gives him the ability to buff up into the big boy state.
And Yada gonna miss out on that rush. Grim just slipping right between the cracks and gets a safe shield in there. Yada might be boxing a little too hard as Grim's just focused on evading these quick flurries of punches and is just getting a lot of punishes in between.
Yeah, you're
really taking advantage of that Tri-Bolt.
You're not gonna take damage if you're not getting hit. And if you're not getting hit, you have time to throw in some punches. Throws in another rush right there, only 250. Did not finish with the nade, which might have killed if he finished with it.
Definitely missed out on the finishing touch. A pretty
Ooh.
Not always the easiest thing to do, but sometimes you don't even need it, as you'll just get one more hit in there, taking the first game.
Dang, Grimwood came into this as the number 6 seed and is right now 1 game up against the number 2. Grimwood's definitely been leveling up his play right now.
He's going in pretty strong right now, and it looks like he's wanting to take this one, as this tournament does have a prize pool.
Oh yeah, these are crowdfunded, aren't they?
They are! Crowdfunded by the community of the EU area. I do believe that maybe some other people beyond have helped out a little bit too. But generally, these events supported by the loving people of the ARMS community. Many thanks to all of you.
Alright, they're gonna go to Temple Grounds for this one.
This will likely help out Yada a lot more, just having more space, the pillars to give some good opportunities.
Yeah, that'll cover Ribbon Girl's weakness when it comes to landing. I think Grimwood's probably going to want to punch those out as soon as possible. But we'll see how those pillars kind of play into this. They do also give Max Brass a place to retreat and charge up.
If he can find the time, Ribbon Girl's effective, really good at just kind of scaring you into not being able to safely build up if they're in an advantage state. Or just even in a solid safe neutral. Like if you're struggling to catch them, you're probably going to be just trying, you won't even be worrying about trying to build up a buff build because you know that they're just going to capitalize on it.
Ooh, you don't have to worry about building it up though if you get it off of Grab, which is exactly what Grimwood has done. Now he's kind of playing in between these pillars here. Has been taking a lot of damage to the pillars. Yetta is trying to find something to get going, but Grimwood deflecting all of them. Yetta's kind of fallen into one of the more predictable punch rhythms, it seems.
It is working out though, as Yetta's going to take a soft lead here and is just slowly beating down Grimwood and just causing him a hard time, taking advantage of that charged nade and blasting Grimwood down for a little bit more damage.
Oh, that's going to be the rush, starting with the popper, catching him on the back wall there and able to finish off, putting Grim into Buff Boy.
This is a really dicey spot to be in, especially using your rush just to do this. But Ribbon Girl's a good character for being able to take advantage of this too, if she just can find the right moment. Grim choosing not to use that rush, that was a pretty solid confirm.
And I think now we might be at kill percent if this lands. If he finishes with the nade, maybe. Not quite,
enough.
But Grimwood
Missed
has
out on a little bit of chase damage.
Oh my gosh. Never ever say GG to a muscle grandpa.
You really have to be careful of that comeback mode that Brass has. It's so scary. And it's so easy for a good Brass player just to bring things back with it.
And Grimwood starting off not really able to get any buff going right now. Has to play more of a deflect game. He needs to get that initial knockdown, and Yetta playing down at the bottom is not letting him get it. Playing at full range is very difficult for a Max Brass.
Just the spacing that Yetta's able to land, especially at a long range. Gets a nice rush in there for 320 damage. Yetta holding up pretty strong again, but now lacking rush, and Grim is very close to enraging again.
Yeah, he does finally get his buff state found, gets a nice nade there. He thinks Kud's turning around very quickly. If a grab lands, or if he lands a rush like that, gonna finish off with the nade for 340. Now has Yetta into the red. Gets grabbed though, and this is gonna put him right at the edge of comeback mode.
Now getting hit by that toaster, he is one hit away from getting KO'd. Yetta likely going to only try to take him down with a charged popper or a charged toaster at this point, maybe even a grab. Just looking for a little bit more damage and just trying to find their way through this flurry that Grim is just throwing out. Gets hit, gets doubled down, and now Yetta on their final frames of health chooses to go for the rush, does a bunch of chip damage, but now Grim gonna dive right in with rush, and it's going to connect.
Ooh, was that game 2?
That was the second game.
Oh my gosh, Grimwood is running through everybody today. Coming out, he's gonna be in the winners finals right now.
Yetta made a very risky play, just kind of throwing out that rush, and it ended up giving Grim a rush so he could just dive in the last few moments and get the KO. Yetta definitely
kind of dicey
wanted to hold on to that.
I wasn't sure how that rush was gonna land, if it would land at all. It seemed like maybe Yetta would have enough time to shield, but it just came down to the big boy jumping at you, and when a large man jumps out at you, you know, you kind of freeze.
It can be a very scary thing to have. And
Right, let's see, it looks like Iceman
it's
and
just a really
Kenzo.
scary thing to be dealing with.
Yeah, if I saw a big ol' man with like that small of a head compared to the rest of his body, I'd also be very confused about what's happening.
Yes.
Like, hey bud, you lose your way from the circus? It's back over there, please don't hurt me. It's like Andre the Giant had his pecs enlarged and his head kind of stayed the same size. I never really realized before this, like, how unsettling Max Brass's proportions are, but they're not very pleasant.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, there's a handful of characters in this game that have very discomforting proportions, but it's not safe to think about them.
Yeah, there's a reason only Kid Cobra is called hot. He's the only I can't say he's the normal looking one, but he's like the closest to normal looking we got of someone who doesn't have toothpaste for hair.
I mean, I don't think, actually, I'd probably say otherwise. Kid Cobra's probably the least normal of them all. It's almost like he's a snake person.
Hey, maybe... God, why are y'all quoting me in the chat? I hate when y'all do that to me, dang it. That's why we have the Hamma No Context Twitter. Which, by the way, go follow it. I say a lot of dumb stuff. Let's see what they're going to do here. They're gonna
the Yemple rounds.
Yemple rounds.
The Temple Grounds. The glorious home of the Masanga.
Home of also really interesting. I wonder who Penzo's gonna run right here, because the pillar layout is really interesting. Oh, he's gonna just go with the Cobra. Okay, I saw in the last EU PR he was running like 10 different characters.
Oh yeah, no, he plays pretty much, he's pretty proficient with all the characters. Definitely a very solid player in general, just knows his way around his characters.
Ooh.
Can be very advantageous for him, as that just can help him pick the right character for the right matchup.
Yeah, it goes with the whammer right here, Rip Kojo. But this is an interesting set. We used to see this run a lot more in EU when Kojora was active in the scene. So I'm wondering how this is going to play out now that the meta's advanced since then. I don't know if this is part of Penzo's normal set, or if this is just kind of a thing he's using specifically for the matchup. He has gotten Iceman to even health, but Iceman already got Rush. Actually not going to burn it right here, instead just going to go for a nice poke with the Sparky.
That popper really solid to it, but it can struggle when it has to deal with an Ice Dragon and a Sparky. Two arms that are just well designed for punching through it. But the Whammer gonna eat right through that Rush. And now Penzo in a very dominant position here, just looking for a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
Iceman back in the corner, hidden behind the pillars, but that's not gonna protect him for long, as Penzo just has so many opportunities to slip in between these cracks and just continue to deal out damage.
Yeah, this is what I was saying about the pillar layout being super interesting here on Temple. From so many angles, a lot of places are covered because they're set up in, not like they are in, oh, that's going to be the round for Penzo, but they're not set up like they are on Scrapyard or on DNA, where they're like pretty straightforward. The formation there is, it blocks off a lot of different area, but it all depends on what angle the camera is at. You really have to think about what areas are going to be guarded and what your blind spots are.
And speaking of blind spots, Iceman now currently in a pretty bad position right here.
Oh!
Walk behind that corner.
Really?
Penzo has had height advantage. He's gonna lose it as Iceman slowly tries to work his way up. Gonna safely dodge out of the way of that Rush. That pillar saving his hide.
That thud was so unsatisfying to listen to. It just, you could hear like Penzo's heart dropping with that dunk.
Some things are just not meant to be. And it looks like this one is going to be very in favor of Iceman, destroying the final pillar of the Temple Grounds. And is now just looking for a little bit more damage. Likely planning on holding onto that Rush unless Penzo can start getting a swing back in his favor.
I will never understand how Iceman makes offensive Ice Dragon work so well, but he does it so well that he can take round 2 against Penzo. When you think of a dragon strat, you don't really think necessarily, oh, this is obviously an offensive tool and I'm gonna get up in your face and use this. You always think of it more as a full range type one. Iceman, maybe even realizing that too, has switched off of it to a Sparky Edge Chakram now. Penzo has
switching over
too.
That's a very unconventional loadout Enzo's running in with. The Phoenix Whammer. But he is making it work to some degree, start keeping the health scores about even, and is ready to go in with Rush. And he's going to use it to break right out of that grab. 365 damage.
The thing he has to worry about with this set, though, is Iceman potentially just running circles around him. It's going to be a slower loadout with the Whammer being one of, even for a heavy arm, kind of slow. And the Phoenix, while it is faster than the Thunderbird, still on the slower end of curving arms, and an Iceman gonna use that speed advantage he had to take that round and that game with the Rush.
Yeah, as soon as Iceman started to get some tempo there, he just ran with it, and Penzo was not able to bring it back. Rush follow up, and that was it. Iceman taking the first game.
Let's see what bans they're gonna be issuing. Sparring and Via. Okay, the offensive stages. No surprise there, really.
Granted, I don't think either one really would be too much of a fan of those closed, tight spaces. Both picking characters, at least currently, both picking characters that can enjoy a little bit more open space, a little more room to work with. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see us go back to Temple Grounds.
Alright, Penzo is typing in. Yeah, he's gonna go to Buster. Okay, Buster seems to be the favorite of today. In the words of Nicki Minaj, let's go to the beach, let's go get away. I almost said Ninky Minjaj, like the freaking Vine. I've been so corrupted by
Minjad? Minjara?
Nicki Minjara.
Are we making a new ship right here, Minjara?
It is the best
No,
arm
that's
ship.
not a new one.
Best
That's
arm ship, okay.
That's as old as ARMS itself.
Tale as old as time. Noodle and the ninja. I didn't think this through before I said it.
Heading into this next match. Ooh, look at Penzo's loadout this time.
Complete change. Gonna be running a Bub Lockjaw to start this off.
That is some extreme pressure potential going in right there. The Bub just gonna safely allow him to protect himself from so many attacks. Lockjaw also gonna do that, and just look at the coverage that this thing has. Iceman gonna safely be able to punch through it, but he's gotta be really careful as it's just so many shots going out, so many things just chasing him around.
Oh wow!
And he even with a disarmed arm.
Oh my word! That Penzo.
You have to respect the heavy arm.
Yeah, if you don't move out of the way of that thing, it's just gonna come barreling at your face like a speeding bullet. Well, a slow bullet, but still a bullet nonetheless. You're gonna get knocked out of his rush right there. And is constantly getting knocked down. Has to respect this rush here.
He's not going to, and that's gonna result in him taking a lot of damage. Does allow him just to get rid of it though. And that might be just something he would like at this point, as he's going to have to take that loss. Moving into this final round, Iceman might just be looking for one more round to be able to move on in the brackets. Penzo not gonna go down without a fight. Brings out the Hydra and is gonna try to use it to just spread shot Iceman down with a bunch of powerful hits.
Yeah, now we have a good mix of quick and slow in here. A good option to pressure at full range, and a good poke option at really any angle since Hydra got that curving buff in 5.4. Good stun into grab right there. Penzo already almost down to the red. Only one hit away from being knocked into there. Has Rush in line, but Iceman is going to get his in just a second. This match is really going quickly. Ooh, that might be it.
And that is going to be a quick connection. Iceman just following it up, gets the KO, and is going to be moving on to face off against Grimwood.
God, these winners these winners semis you'd think would go slower there. I mean, there are two very good people on both sides, but both of them were just clean 2-0s.
A lot of it is just matchup experience, or just having a good idea on what they needed to do to take these matches, and just kind of going in with a strong plan, and it just worked out for them.
Yeah, Iceman had the plan, but let's see if that can continue on when he fights Grimwood.
Indeed. So we're gonna get both players in probably right away, and we'll just have the winners finals happen.
Yeah,
I'm not sure exactly what's happening.
Let's look at what's going on in the losers side right now. Looks like Defer has come out over Yam. Richmeister coming out over Yoshi Bowser. Doesn't look like too much has happened outside of that, though.
A lot of the players at the bottom just slowly trying to bring things back, get some tempo going for them. Try to get the salty runbacks that everybody loves oh so dearly.
Okay, looks like they're coming in. Iceman back right away. Grimwood not here yet, but we'll see. We'll see this unfold eventually. Dang it! I just thought of a way I could have ended that song. I could have said "Noodle and the Beach." Dang it! I need to think things through before I say them.
Write it down on a notepad and remember it for next time.
I'll do it for when I reuse jokes later tonight in COTE. By the way, COTE is tonight. No region lock-in if you're in Europe. It's at, I should know this by now, 6 EST tonight. I'm very tired.
Also known as like midnight for them.
I was making a graphic yesterday for some network era things, and I put every single tournament network era has, like, what time it runs down, and I still had to ask what time default derby starts. So I'm just used to everything just being, era just being, hey, you know it's like 10 minutes till this tournament, right? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yes. Thank for remind.
I'm really bad at remembering my own schedule. I have to check my pinned messages in my DMs to, like, check when my schedule is every single day. They're gonna go to DNA Lab. Oh, I'm so used to setting the stage myself. It felt bad going into the rules menu and seeing everything grayed out for me.
No control for you. This is mine.
Now it really does feel like I'm doing something with Era.
I always have the power. I am Nintendo Power.
I love the Nintendo Power Glove. It's so bad.
It's not called the Nintendo Power Glove, it's the Power Glove.
It's made by Nintendo, come on, you gotta give me that. Come on.
It's not made by Nintendo Power though, it's made by Nintendo.
But it's the Nintendo Power Glove. It'd be
heading into this next match.
It's only half wrong. Come on, give me.
We're heading into the next match. Where you got Iceman going in against Grimwood. Grimwood going in with the first loadout here.
Oh wow! I didn't even realize. Yeah, he just straight up copped this loadout. I love it.
It's a good loadout. It has good results, and I can understand why he would pick it for this fight. It covers a lot of ground. It helps him get around that Ice Dragon.
Oh,
the trick is just learning to implement it well.
That's the startup he needed. Iceman retreating though, using that Ice Dragon to keep his retreat safe. Gets knocked down though by that well-placed roaster. And now Grimwood has gotten in.
Grimwood starting this match, 50 seconds in about, and he's gonna dive in with the rush and has a solid health lead right now. Iceman only capable of cannot take a single hit more unless it's an uncharged Thunderbird.
Yeah, we all know how powerful rush comebacks can be. People getting that second win thinking, I won't die here. I have this yellow Dorito to empower me.
Iceman just trying to find a way in, gets the stun, gets a combo, and is now set. If he can get another combo, he can follow it up with rush, and that's gonna KO.
Oh wow, yeah, he is only like he's basically a rush away. Gets the Sparky right there. Does knock him out.
Now he's just a stun grab away. Any Sparky hit can result in a KO, but he's gonna finally get hit by that Thunderbird.
Oh my
word.
That
leads to that KO.
Yeah, that Nacho Cheese almost said that's Nacho round and let Iceman come back. Gonna start off with the rush. Grimwood not far behind though. Gonna get it early into this match.
Does not have it in time to stop that grab though, and ends up taking 150 damage. Getting chained down pretty hard right now. Grimwood definitely wanting to be careful.
Oh, good rush right there. Grimwood trying to retreat with a dash.
Was not able to bring out his rush to try to punch that down. Iceman would have just been able to flurry it. But now Grimwood is in a position with his rush ready. He could, if he just finds a way in, he can just burn Iceman down and deal some serious damage. But the Trick is trying to find his way in. Not gonna go for the grab there, just looking to take advantage of that stun to continue pressuring Iceman. But that's only gonna allow Iceman to get right back into the ring, swinging with a Dragon Arm Chakram. And now is just about ready with a second rush.
Grimwood's
And more than 50% health lead.
Bring out the fiery presence. Is he going to be able to melt the Iceman? I think one thunder. Oh no, not going to be able to take it. Just a quick little poke there with the Sparky. Both of them are going to be going into this next round with Rush. Penzo, what? Come on. That was a good-ish pun. Come on, man. I was proud of that one. Not really, I'm never proud of it.
Deferred going in, and this time he's got the Scully in tow. That's going to make it a lot harder for his rushes to stick, but that is going to be quickly dishing out some strong damage, just applying poison, getting those ticks whenever he can. Gonna get caught by that rush to start things off though. 305 damage.
Oh,
tries to go in
maybe
for a
looking
setup.
Rush. Gets knocked down by this Chakram and gets electrocuted into the stun again. He's already into the comeback, kid. Iceman has been freezing Grimwood.
That was just a vicious chain. Just quickly bringing things into, just preventing Grim from, he just got good reads. He was like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and now you're gonna do this. And Iceman just read after read after read brought things in and took the first round of this match.
Alright, he's gonna ban Sparring and Via, and they're going back to Buster Beach. Let's see if the Iceman can stay afloat, or if he's gonna get some, sand in his buns. I don't know, I gotta think about these lines before I say them. I'm just hoping I'll find a punchline by the end, and it never works out.
The trick is the trick to making a good pun is you don't kind of just set them up and try to flow with them. You've got to have like a good idea on how that pun would work, and then
I've got to be
it's
smarter
not you
than
don't
my
even
own mouth.
yeah, to a degree possibly. I don't know. Puns are a little tricky to learn how to wield effectively. As you might have noticed, I've only made like maybe 1 or 2 puns, and the one I've made really hit home. You just gotta find that right moment for the pun, and then wait things out otherwise.
Are you teaching me puns in your commentary voice?
What do you mean? No, what are you talking about?
Sorry,
Moving on with the
I'm
match.
crap
Moving
over
on
here.
with the match. Iceman
Oh, my
in a very
Lord.
dominant position. This beast just not working out for Grimwood. That brass advantage really not going in his favor right now, as Iceman gonna dive in. Ends up missing out as Grimwood effectively punishes the rush.
Oh, with the damage output that this set can use, he could bring this back. Only needs really like 2 more hits, or no, it's really like 3 more hits and maybe a grab. Has Iceman down now too. Oh wow! Oh! Oh my god, that was great. I'm sorry that I turned into a freaking Scooby-Doo character, but
The
that
setup
was...
there just.
Oh, that was good.
That camera angle worked out so well for him. There was no way Grim was going to be able to stop that.
There was so much going against Iceman there. There was fists coming at his face. There was Grimwood just retreating, maybe falling out of the way, but he went for it. He made like a Beyblade, let it rip. Grimwood doing the same with this rush though, and it now has Iceman down to about half health.
Grimwood's gonna get the frozen, ends up getting caught by the grab, just not able to fight back in that frozen state. And now both players very close to even on health pools. Iceman is ready with rush though, and is just looking for a way in to get that to inflict some serious damage, continue that pressure, and potentially take Grimwood down on his own stage.
Surprised he didn't go for the rush right there. I think that would have finished it off. I mean, if he gets another oh yeah, like there, he's gonna burn the rush. Not gonna be able to get much out of it. Grimwood now almost to his own rush. Oh, that's gonna
But
be
he
it, though.
might not have a chance
That's
to use
gonna
it,
be
as
it.
one more Sparky gonna follow things up, giving Iceman a second match, and is now 1 match away from claiming the set.
Let's see. I think Grimwood's gonna have to change something up right here. Despite his strong showing in the early round, this winner's finals is really giving him a bad time. Sparring and Via gonna be banned once again.
Iceman is just not a player you fight. You do not mess with the Iceman. That guy's gonna shatter you if you are not prepared.
They're gonna stick to Buster right here. Any change? No change in loadout by Grimwood. Must just want to take some kind of alternate approach here.
A change of approach, a change of strategy can really help out. But you just gotta find your way through or find the answer. And that Ice Dragon is going to start things off, giving Grimwood a nice reminder why this might not have been the best choice for him this time, as it's just gonna snipe right through his attacks and keeps Iceman in a very dominant position.
Yeah, while this is a great map for Brass, the pressure it can put out is somewhat overwhelming. The Ice Dragon has such a long range.
That confirmed. That's a KO.
Is that gonna KO? Not.
That's no, just a frame away.
Now he's on Magic Mixtape.
There it is.
That's gonna be it. Wow, a perfect in winners finals. Dang, Iceman needs to slow down.
That really did not work out for Grim the way he was expecting it to. And now Iceman just looking for one more round to claim the set and do a 3-0 sweep against Grimwood.
There is a grab right there out of the stun. Rush is online, and now Grimwood has been able to find these tribal plants a little better. This is looking like a serpent steamroll right now.
Oh, not gonna let that hit, but he gets caught by the second one.
Oh.
No, Magic Pixel still in this.
Oh, that's it.
Grimwood. So close to getting a perfect of his own right here.
Oh my word. Y'all gotta calm down. You guys still have grands after this potentially. It's coming down to whoever gets that first hit. And that time Grimwood was able to find it with the stun, though now Iceman gets that first knockdown. Pressuring Grimwood against the back, the Ice Dragon freezing him right there.
Both do have very solid chain weaponry. That Tribal just allowing Grim to combo into just more and more pain. Iceman, with the Sparky and the Ice Dragon, just capable of doing the exact same thing. Gonna see that moment, tries to go in, but that's not gonna connect. Does give him a moment to get that Dragon Arm, but now he's gotta fear a Brass coming in with Rush. Knocks him into Enrage though, and now there is very little room for him to work with as he's gonna get rushed down and thrown into the red himself.
Very even health right now. One hit could end this from both of them too. Oh, is that it? Not quite.
That's not gonna be it yet.
Oh, but a Sparky landing actually would be it for Grimwood as long as he gets a follow-up. There's the ice. Oh,
and he's gonna drop his shield.
Grimwood,
and
why?
That's gonna result in this set being a clean sweep for Iceman, taking 3 stocks away from Grim, and Grim at the very last moment just not able to bring things out and give himself that chance to start coming back.
Oh,
Iceman heading to the grand finals. Grimwood going to be moving over to the losers finals and will be awaiting his opponent. We will see him again soon.
Let's see what we got going on now over in losers side. Looks like we have Defer and Okrim fighting, and Replicant and Eloria as well. Let's see, have they started? I wonder what they've been doing.
A lot of those matches down there likely have been just kind of going at it. Generally what happens at this point, most groups usually are just kind of rolling around, and then you try to snipe one down if you find the opportunity.
You're like, guys, please stop, we need you.
We don't need anyone.
Somebody, please, anybody, come to my stream.
We might possibly have Defer and Okrim be our next match. We'll just have to see if they are available for that. Yeah,
okay.
So far.
Okay, it looks like they're coming in. Okay.
Very nice.
Okrim is saying maybe the other match is... Oh, the other match started already. I love that. Okrim is like, why? I'm not even that good.
Is it fitting that he was frozen by Iceman? Probably. Probably pretty fitting.
There's probably some joke in there. I have absolutely no idea what it... be, though.
I mean, we could just start throwing out really bad ice puns and say stuff like that was a really cool matchup with a shocking result.
We could just end up being like Mr. Freeze from that terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger Batman movie.
Nice.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to work in I never freeze. I reveal my hand way too early. I believe I need more tutorials on how to make jokes in your commentary voice.
You get excited. It's easy to get excited. It's easy to get worked up and like, ooh, I've got a good one, and then throw it. You've got to be calm and collected and patiently wait out those moments where you can be like, all right, this is the moment I throw out this pun, and then you throw it out, and everybody just groans because of how impactful it was.
It sounds more like you're commentating a Yu-Gi-Oh match right now. You have to wait for your
I don't
moment.
even notice.
You have to believe in the heart of your cards. Throw it out there. Get the blue eyes going.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even notice the difference between my commentator voice and my normal voice.
I love. I can tell you like leaning into certain words. And like, dang, I'm getting. If any of my classes in like school were this exciting, I would not be considering dropping out of college.
See, that's why everybody's got to learn how to have a really good like commentary voice or like a good conversationalist voice, where you can kind of. Also, it really helps out that. It really helps out that my voice is really drained out, so it's deeper. So not only do I sound manlier, but my manly deep voice is really good for just commentary and rambling. So we're just kind of rolling straight into things and flowing word after word into match, into play, into defer, faces off against Okram right here.
I respect that string of words that said like 3 things in it.
It was a flow. It was a flow. Heading into this next match,
though. Was that a flourish joke with the... Really?
Oh, maybe? I guess.
Oh, was that not intentional? Because, I mean, 3 of the members here, both commentators and Defer are Flourish members.
I'm gonna be honest, the best punts are usually the ones that are unintentional.
Oh, Defer
Heading into
right now
this
is flowing hard against Okram. Gets a good grab in right there and is now... It's that unfortunate threshold where the brass is like, maybe I should just hold shield and try to take some chips so I at least go into red. Because you don't want to be on that little threshold. Oh, wow, auto deep like...
Oh, that's gonna connect!
Oh, my word. That was... Oh, wait, is Okram okay? Oh, did he just give up?
He just accepted it. He wanted to make sure that Defer had as little rush as possible. As you can see, Okram does have his rush ready, and he's likely going to want to try to utilize that big rush advantage right away.
Looks like, okay, there's Okram is saying there might be a little bit of lag. They're gonna try to fix that.
We'll hopefully want to fix that up. It could be potentially some interaction between us and their area, as one of us is all the way over in St. Louis, another one's in Alberta, and then these two are all the way in just different places of the EU. Like, this is a very regional heavy match going on right now.
Defer looks like he's still staying on top for this one. Yeah, it looks like there maybe is lag. And Okram is just kind of giving up on this.
Yeah, we're gonna look into sorting this out. It could very likely be a lot of things. We're gonna have a quick reset, and then we're just gonna try again.
Man, Defer's profile picture here on Discord really is saying everything about what this match is. I love that freaking... I love that emote. I'm so glad they added it onto Discord.
It's very, very wonderful.
Wow, I can't believe Defer stole Grimwood's loadout. I know. Who would do that? Defer,
well, I can't...
Dennis, you're despicable.
I can't believe everybody's stolen everyone else's loadout. This is despicable.
It's not it's not very nice of you.
How dare one half of the ARMS community steal the other ARMS community's loadout from themselves and then steal it back again? How dare all of them do that?
2 wrongs don't make a right, guys. You lost your set fair and square. Think of something new.
Nah, that's not the road I'm going. I'm saying basically everybody's got the same loadout, and it's okay. It's okay if your loadout seems familiar to another one, because there's a lot of arms, there's a lot of availability, but at some point there's going to be so many players, so many plays that you're going to look at things. This is a weird thing that happens. Like Pokemon has this, where is a lot of like it's consistently the same Pokemon, but it's like. They don't call out, oh, this guy's copying the last Pokemon Champions loadout. Like, where does this doesn't happen? Like, oh, you picked Link, you're playing, you picked the same character as this other guy who did well, you're copying him. ARMS is the only game where we do this, where we're calling each other out for stealing loadouts. Hey, what's wrong with us?
Hey, I don't have to worry about that. I play Parabola. There's like 2 other people in the world that do. If someone steals my set, it's pretty blatant.
No, that's exactly what I mean, though. Is why is this important? Like, why is this important?
Because Parabola is my baby, and no one is allowed to touch it but me.
I'm fine with people using the Funchuck. I mean, I'll bring it up as a joke at this point, but it's like, it's ARMS. I don't legally own any of these. I don't have a copyright on the Funchuck. I don't have a copyright on the Nade. Imagine if somebody had the copyright on the Nade.
What, you mean like the US government?
No, like a specific player just owned the Nade, and it's like they are allowed to use it.
Yeah, 10 cents every time that you land an explosion confirm. Imagine if we could get royalties from just having our arms. Oh my word.
I don't think that would be healthy for the scene.
We definitely have more money flowing into prize pots. We just charged each other money to use arms.
I mean, it's true, but also, I don't think we'd have many players because nobody'd be able to play with the arms they'd like. Like, Toaster would be, like, not legal because because Resolve would own the Toaster. And it's like, well, nobody can use the Toaster now because unless they're forking over money, and nobody wants to fork over money to use a spring glove like that. Nobody wants to fork over money to use a Funchuck. Even if I was like 5 cents, nobody want to give me 5 cents to use the Funchuck.
No, I would give you 5 cents to use the Funchuck. I'm carried by that. That and Parabola carry me so hard. I'm nothing without those 2 arms. I would need them.
Speaking of reliable arms, we're gonna head right into this next match here. Defer going in with his trusty Roaster Thunderbird loadout. Okram going in with the Chakram Roaster. Some very good arms on Okram's part. That Chakram capable of getting some really good comebacks, just combos and grab opportunities, much like that one, as Okram solidifies himself a light health lead, but he's gonna not as solidified as one might think, as he's quickly gonna lose it from a Thunderbird grab combo. Now both players ready with Rush. Whoever finds an opportunity to go in is likely going to have the lead and might even take the round.
Yeah, Okram is kind of in a weird situation here too. Chakram is a much better arm when it's charged up, and Defer.
Oh, there's a Rush though.
Get it. Gets a nice 280, not quite able to kill. The Thunderbird not getting the last couple hits. Gonna get another Thunder there, and that's gonna take that round for Defer, not even slipping into the red. See, Okram gonna bring out a Megawatt here. Not an arm we see too often, though we do see it far more frequently than its cousin, the Megaton.
It's a very solid arm, and it's the only like strong elemented heavy arm. The other ones just at best have like poison or explosion, and then a lot of times those aren't nearly as consistent as something like the shock element.
Yeah, the issue I could see him having here though is potentially just having it deflected or walked around entirely, since Springman not only has deflect but is super quick when it comes to character speeds.
You have to be really on the ball with using something like the Megawatt, and Okram really struggling to use it here.
Oh, I think he's gonna have lag again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Okram is saying it's just not playable for him. So I guess we're just gonna have Defer taking it, I suppose.
We'll let everybody else sort that out. There's not much that we can really do. Not much I'd really want to say about that. To respond to you, Gilly, your response is very much like that. Just lines up exactly with what I was saying about Smash. Like, you pick a color with Smash. If somebody else picks that color, in a lot of cases, there's only so many things to pick. There's a lot of variety, but there's only so many, like, reliable, consistent things. And in a lot of colors and styles, there's also, you could probably make a tier list of, like, here's the tier list for the Inkling colors, because which ones do people generally want to go with? And if you pick the high tier color, say Hero Inkling, there's gonna be a lot of other people who will pick that. If you like Homie, or if you like Popper, and you see somebody else going in with a Popper and they just so happen to have the Homie as well because it works well for them, that's because it works well for them.
I'm glad that you didn't say that the Schoolgirl Inkling was the high tier one, because I really don't like the Schoolgirl Inkling one. I don't know why, but it's unsettling. I don't need
Hero.
I get enough lolly weird stuff on my Twitter feed. I don't need more lolly stuff in Smash.
Hero Inkling is just it's the one that I always think of, and whenever I see a lot of other people pick Inkling, especially just a lot of players who might not be like the toppest tier, a lot of them just pick Hero because as Splatoon fans, we generally see that one and we're like, yes, the Hero from Splatoon 1, let's go!
And then when I play Little Mac, I just pick the pink hoodie because pink hoodie is funny. No, I don't really have any reasons when I come. And I play, when I play Incineroar, I pick the cat skin so I can just go Froggy over and over.
Sometimes it just feels really nice.
Sometimes it feels nice to just wonder where your friends are and then you realize you don't have any.
Oh. But generally, moving on with the conversation, but generally in a lot of scenes, picking the styles and the characters and everything, like, a lot of them, they do that, and even share very similar playstyles at times. Once again, it's only ARMS, though, where because we get to pick a little bit further, and the scene is so much smaller, so you don't see as much echoing of playstyles. You don't see as much. Malieve made an ARM popular, and now it's just going to continue to be pretty popular for a while. That only kind of happens in Japan. In North America, I will make grounds with the Funchuck nade setup, and then you don't really see anybody else use it still, because everybody who does play, like, there's only a handful of us, and we're very devoted to our loadouts. But if it were bigger, like, say, Smash, you'd probably see a lot more people flowing around, dancing between these setups, exploring these different avenues, these different tools, and just seeing how they work.
Yeah, really the only set I can think of from, like, North America that anyone could really say it belongs to someone is, like, Ice Dragon Lola, or, like, Dragon Lolas in general kind of, like, belongs to Twin. And a lot of people who, like, run a Dragon Lola would be like, oh, they're a Twin clone, or something like that.
Even then, I would still kind of say, that's probably one of the least, like, that one's very, people identify Twin with that loadout, but a lot of what's going on there is, it's the same as Funchuck nade. They're like, oh, it's Malieve. But it's like, it's a really solid loadout, and it makes sense to see it show up on other characters and other players because of the results it's shown. It makes sense for it to start popping up in more areas. It's not necessarily people are stealing the idea. It's been demonstrated how effective that idea is. So it would be genuinely foolish for people to not explore these other tools and loadouts and see why they work.
Speaking of effective tools, right now Replicant is using his Birdchuck to some really great success. Yetta, though, is coming back with this Tri-Bolt, getting so many good confirms in stuns. Gonna burn the rush right there.
And seize that moment to go in.
What a freaking comeback! Oh my gosh, Yetta.
Just quickly swinging things back into Yetta's favor and taking the first round. That Birdchuck working really effectively, but as soon as you find your way around it, it's a very slow projectile. It takes a while for it to reach your foe.
Yeah, and it's
And if they know how to work around it, they're going to work around it. And you'll just be left vulnerable, especially if your only other option is a Hydra.
yeah, and while it does have that coverage on the ground, and in the air, it kind of becomes like the slicing anti-Ribbon blade. Ribbon does have the tools to get around it, since it's gonna fire in a more linear fashion than say the Funchuck would. Rep is gonna go ahead and burn his rush right there. Gets 230, but the ending is blocked by Yetta. It's a freeze in there. Let's see. Does he get a punish? No, does not. Yetta standing his ground.
Yetta almost actually getting a punish off of being frozen there, but Replicant was able to keep his ground and just kind of traded blows until the ice wore off.
Yetta has the rush. Could get a stun confirm if he really wants to. He's kind of just dancing around what Rep is going for right now. That's right around that Perchuk right there with a toaster. It just comes down to a rush exchange. It's going to be interesting to see what it comes down to. Both of those rushes are going to be very similar to each other.
Replicant choosing to just throw out that rusher. He needed that to connect.
kill?
He doesn't get the KO though.
Really?
Missing out on the couple of frames. Just throwing out that Hydra. Maybe the Perchuk just being a little too slow and not capable of keeping up with the Hydra shots.
Oh, there we go.
He's
The
going to
Hydra
be able to find
flipping
his
the
way in
side.
though.
Oh my word, that almost was a heartbreak for Replicant. Let's see what happens here in this round 3. Yetta is going in with a huge advantage in rush.
Replicant quickly grinding up some rush though, is already halfway and only needs a handful more swings to be able to bring it back. And you can tell he's quickly trying to get that set up just so he has a safe response. But he's gonna take that rush. Does get it. His self set up, but has to take 230 damage in
response
exchange.
with his own rush right there. Not gonna land the same amount that Yetta did, but still got him off of him.
That Perchuk is just not treating him favorably during those rushes. It keeps missing these little windows. It's not connecting properly, and the Hydra just gonna keep causing Yetta to fall to the ground and miss out on so much chip damage.
Yeah, it's one of those rushes that you do really have to stagger if you want to get the maximum amount out of it. And learning those stagger timings, especially like in the heat of battle, can be kind of tough. It's something you gotta spend time labbing out in like the corner or something.
Both players now vulnerable to a KO from Rush, just looking for an opportunity to get in there. Yetta can potentially just get a stun grab off of the tribal as well.
Oh, Rush is gonna come out. Is that okay?
That's
that did
gonna
KO
connect!
that time. The Rush finally working out in Replicant's favor, and he's gonna be taking game 1. Is this okay? This is not losers final. This is losers what quarter? Yeah, losers quarters. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, losers quarters is right here, and then there's losers semis. Wait. Yeah, this is... Yeah, okay. Semis is next.
Okay. Let's see what Rep is gonna choose to ban. Gosh, I love when competitors just have like little conversations with each other in between rounds. I love how close this community is. It's so nice. Okay, Rep declaring he will ban before he actually bans.
Excellent. That is it's important to remind us the process of how stage striking or competitive play works, where you have to announce what stages you're banning and then allow your opponent to respond. Especially once you get to these final stages where everybody is very used to how these matches go. That's the best time to bring back that tutorial to explain how much that rupee is worth and what that bug is useful for when you finally catch it the 800th time.
Oh, let's see. Yetta is gonna pick them to play sparring once again.
A very classic stage. It works well.
Rep asking. Okay. Gosh, I love that. I think Yetta was like #1 on the PR before, and Rep was like in the top 10, and they're still trying to remember the processes of rules.
Actually, the EU scene has slightly adjusted the rules recently due to a few few changes in how they want to approach the announcement of changes or their arms and character swaps. So they're just starting to feel that out again. Tomorrow's Scrap Star series will actually have a different setup to a different slight change to the rules to accommodate for that change as well.
Are these players, is there any change in set? No, it looks like they're both going to go with the same thing right now. Yetta's still rocking that Toaster Tri-Bolt. Rep's still going with the Burchuck and the Hydra. Despite winning last game, it was kind of an uphill battle for Replicant a lot of the times. The Burchuck kind of let him down. So let's see if he can get that thing under control or if it's going to keep icing him out.
Starting things off, both players holding about even, neither getting too significant of a lead, both kind of just going back and forth, but that Tri-Bolt starting to give Yatta a little bit of an advantage and is slowly eking out a lead here. Now ready with your rush, Yatta just looking for an opportunity to get in there, get a solid confirm. Might even choose just to hold on to it as he has for a lot of these rounds so far. Replicant definitely being the more aggressive rusher here, and is going to connect for 200, 300 damage, finally getting a consistent chain going.
Yetta is still in the health lead after that knockdown. It's closer, but Yetta's got the rush, and Rep is going to have to play a lot to his shield. The spread of the set Yetta is running has been causing a lot of issues for Rep. If he goes for a super dash, it's being punished. If he goes for some just kind of normal dash with a punch, it's being punished. Yetta just has complete control of the match right now and lands that Toaster.
Taking the first round very, very dominantly. Replicant only really getting much damage off of the rush, and just that wasn't enough as he's only halfway to getting a second rush.
Rep has switched off of that Hydra now. I guess he thought he was getting burned by it and is going for the Tri-Bolt instead. The rush coming out, but Rep able to shield in time, only taking a little bit of chip damage too. However, he is not
very
down there.
safe dodge.
Yeah, he's got that arm damage though that he's got to watch out for. Yetta getting a good toaster right there, punishing Rep shield drop. Rep going in with that rush, gonna get 250 damage. Health dead even.
Both players just looking for a way in. If any Tri-Bolts connect, that's just going to be a lot of chip damage. And a charge one can easily follow up with a grab combo. And that just will give that player so many more advantages.
Ooh, good knockdown there by Rep. Has to respect this rush. Gets a Burchuck. Probably not going to go for a grab play right here. That rush is in tow.
Just patiently waited things out. Does still hold a small lead, but any quick hit from that Tri-Bolt, a couple from the Toaster, can easily bring things back into Yatta's favor.
Yeah, Rep is probably going to not want to burn his rush, but he might be forced to if Yetta keeps playing this evasively. Goes ahead and does burn it. Yetta trying to get a cancel there, not going to be rewarded with it, but does have rush and could do a stun confirm to take the lead, as he does right there.
That is going to be a KO.
Oh, no, not
that's not.
With the Tri-Bolt instead of the Toaster, but the Tri-Bolt will allow him to get the KO right there. And we are now 1-1.
Yatta just taking control of that match, really working out the kinks and just making sure that he was able to safely bring this out and take that round.
He's going to ban DNA and Temple. The very defensive stages here. He wants to keep Rep at a kind of backed into a corner at a disadvantage most of the time here, which understandable. He plays Ribbon Girl very evasively rather than like a floaty mix-up heavy Ribbon Girl.
Indeed. Yatta has a very unique playstyle to Ribbon Girl, and it works out very well for him, allowing him to pressure a lot of players that normally Ribbon Girl might struggle with. Just good approach, good playstyle, it really works out. And we're going to be taking our next match over to Mausoleum.
Yes, the Mummy Circle. The stage has interesting back walls. The whole thing, even though it is a curved, kind of acts like a giant corner. And I could see this being as very difficult for either player to escape. Lola does have the burst options, but she's going to have to run along the back wall to do them. And Ribbon Girl's initial jump is not the highest. So it'll be really interesting to see if we have any pressure situations coming out. Replicant has changed most of his setup right now. Has a cooler.
I'm liking some of these
popper.
changes. That could be really scary to go against for Yada, as that's gonna cover so much ground.
Yeah, he'll have the popper to cover a good conical area in front of him, and he can kind of scoop Yetta out of the air if you wanted to with that cooler.
While the Coolerain's not going to be nearly as safe or as the Burchuck was, it's probably going to be a lot more consistent and just generally more effective at catching Yada out in a lot of these movements, especially alongside this popper with all of its little pokes. I keep almost trying to say poker.
He could poker face. Rep is
Both
controlling
arms
space in front of him very well. Has that Coolerain doing a lot of damage in here, punishing Yetta's not only weight disadvantage, but the
that was a nice sweep.
Oh, gets the 5 damage at the end, putting Yetta back down into a knockdown, and gonna finish off with a popper.
Completely blindsides Yada with this just one final popper hit, and is now looking for another round to take this set.
Yetta has almost all, Yetta has all of his rush. Rep has barely any of it right now. Does get an initial knockdown. Gonna have to respect the rush though. He's getting backed into the wall, trying to stay mobile and maybe push himself forward, but every time he does, Yetta finds some little arm that he can throw out there to push Rep back. And now he's completely surrounded by the wall. Goes for a super dash. Yetta patient. Doesn't burn his rush right away. Waits just half a second to see what Rep does in response. Very smart play.
Rep now ready with rushes closing in the distance. He is looking to start pressuring on his own, but that tribal is going to push him back and is just giving him a hard time. Yetta has changed his approach up.
Yetta has maybe kind of figured out what Rep does at this distance. We see him going in the blind spot of that set because Rep is curving it to try to catch dashes. And if Yetta just stands his ground or moves the opposite way, then he's gonna be in lag for a little bit and have to deal with that weight disadvantage of the popper.
33 seconds left on the clock, and that uncharged tribal is going to catch Replicant. Now both players one round away from potentially taking the set and moving on in the brackets.
Round 3, game 3, the most tense situation in any match. Trampoline, I don't know if it's taken any damage yet. I doubt we'll see it coming out.
It has not taken a single scratch.
Okay, yeah, I
Both
doubt
generally
we'll
playing at... Whenever one goes in for the aggression, they're usually in a pretty good position to push. And otherwise, both are usually just respecting their distance.
But yeah, Yetta, despite having rush, has not really found a way to push. We see him kind of camping out on the circle there. And he hasn't... Oh, goes for the rush right there. Is going to start
That's going to
landing.
connect.
Only 210. Not the best damage you could get even off of that rush. But still
But
did
some light damage
Yetta
always
has the health
helps.
lead, yeah.
Just a very slight health lead though. Any charged hit from Replicant could easily put himself in the lead here. And he does have rush advantage. Just looking to get in there, get a little bit more damage. With 48 seconds left on the clock, it's likely going to be another KO leading to the end of this match. Yada gonna safely block it, and Replicant gives Yada rush through all that shield chip damage. Replicant leaning really hard into getting as much damage as possible, and it's not gonna work out for him. As Yada gonna land one final blow, taking Replicant out of the tournament.
Yetta is now moving on to losers semis, where he will be facing Defer. These two were... Did Defer... No, Defer and Yetta didn't meet in bracket yet. Okay.
They've likely met before numerous times in other brackets, but this will be the first time in this one.
Yeah, both of them were sent to losers by Grimwood too. And whoever wins this is going to have the rematch against Grimwood.
Whoever wants that salty run back the most is going to be the one who's going to be heading in.
Okay, the first should be coming in shortly, hopefully. Who's going to be banning first? Okay, Yetta is the higher seed, so he'll be banning first here. I wonder if we're going to see more Buster. These guys, like, Jafar liked the Buster before. DNA is going to be the first ban that Yetta takes.
I'm wondering how both players are going to be handling this matchup. Yada generally being pretty solid against Ruben Girl being pretty solid against characters like Springman and Brass, but Defer having a really solid playstyle and has some good tools for catching Ribbon Girl. Yada also having a very different Ribbon Girl from what a lot of us are used to.
Mausoleum and Temple are going to be the bans. Buster's still out there. Is it going to be Buster? Or it's probably going to be... Is it going to be Sparring knowing Yetta? Oh no, it is Buster. Okay. I thought DNA Lab was the EU special. But it seems like today these guys really just want to hit the beach and have some fun in the sun.
They share a lot of tastes. And sometimes if they'll just all be in the mood for one place. I remember once it was just like Temple Ground after Temple Ground. Sometimes it's just Buster Beach after Buster Beach.
Defer's mashing speed on the character select right there. That was wonderful. Defer gonna have Brass with the Roaster and Hydra. Also has a nade. Yetta going with the solid double toaster.
It's a pretty consistent and just solid pick against Brass. Safe boxing allows you to pressure Brass from being able to try to buff up. And then you've got that charged state so you can quickly knock him down when he gets into an armored state. And we gotta see examples of both of those cases right within the first moments of this match.
There's been a lot of fiery knockdowns so far. Defer now kind of playing the deflect game. Yetta trying to force him into a situation where he can't do that. But every time he goes for a punch when Defer doesn't have deflect, he's just not in the way of it. He's been playing very well around his mobility.
Both players now ready with Rush. Defer gonna be the first one to go, but is not gonna get it to connect Yada safely, weaving his way through these attacks, and is gonna respond with a Rush, causing Defer to safely shield that. And now both players still once more at about even health with 35 seconds left on the clock.
Both of these guys playing very read heavy right now. It seems like they've read the reads too. Like they're on completely separate pages of the same book.
Just constantly flipping through pages, trying to catch the other one. Yada in a very slight lead. It's likely going to be a timeout here if Yada just chooses to patiently wait things out. Does have Rush ready and is just looking for one more hit. Defer likely just gonna go in for the KO.
And Yetta using the all-reliable double toaster is gonna come out on top. Defer might want to make an arms change here. Gonna go with the Roaster nade, looking like a default Brass out here.
Two very solid arms as well. The explosion just catching a lot of players is a really safe tool, and the Roaster just a great punish pick.
And since Yetta plays a much more grounded style, Defer might be able to find some good opportunities to plant some nades on the ground or maybe against a back wall. And he's looking to just get out of that hotbox as completely situation. Does get knocked down and is being pressured against the top though. Yetta is not relenting with pressure no matter what stage of the do-si-do they're on.
Does get the disarm, not gonna go for a rush, chooses to go for a grab instead. Yetta very often will choose to just go for a more solid punish rather than going for the rush alternative. Likely just likes to hold on to it for that potential just threat of having a rush ready.
Oh, speaking of rushes, Defer gonna land one in Yetta's face for 285. Yetta does still have the health advantage though and is distancing it even more. This rush is gonna be scary for Defer. One more hit and he's in KO percent.
There's actually, arguably, if Yada was able to position himself properly, this might even be a KO for Yada with Rush. But he's got to be, like, right on top of things with it.
Yeah, he's going to have to make sure he doesn't get screwed over by Glove Rush nerf. If he does land that 50...
That's going to be enough.
Yeah, it's insane in ARMS that even one half damage punch, they're like, okay, not quite enough. Okay, now he's definitely... Defer going to go for the Rush, though. Oh, Yetta dropped
It's going to
shield.
connect...
Why did he
Yada dropped shield, fearing the shield break there. Ends up trying to go for a punish, maybe some sort of dodge, but it's only going to work out for Defer, allowing him to take the round and bring it this final round for this first match.
Oh, and now things could swing any which way. Yetta does still have Rush with Defer having to end. Oh, very smart right there. Only burns one punch into Defer's shield and saves the rest for when he tries to escape.
Yada starting off very strong here. Just effectively pressuring Defer, but Defer gonna knock him into the Hot Pocket. Quickly takes advantage to try to buff up, but is not gonna be successful in it. Yada just keeping that pressure hot, swinging toaster after toaster.
These two are both so good at escaping the downwards platform, though. Yetta was in there right before, and he swung Defer into the back, and now he's having to make some kind of desperate last stand. Just knocked now into the red, auto deflect, not gonna let him get grabbed, but he also does not really have any advantage going for him.
That said, Enrage on Brass is very rewarding, and just simply having this available. If he chose to use this rush there, he probably would have been able to get a punish, but just could not find the time to make that work, and Yada gonna be the first one to claim a match.
Hey, and this is a best of 3 still, I think.
I believe so.
So, Yetta gonna have to play on Defer's counter pick. He's gonna ban DNA and Scrap. Good choices against Defer's very zone-heavy set right there.
What if we go back to Buster Beach? I think Yada's demonstrated that he knows what to do in this beach and how to play and handle it effectively.
Let's see where
So I
Defer's
wouldn't
gonna
be
take
surprised to see Defer pick a different place.
They're going to go to Via. Okay. That is
There's
a
definitely
good
gonna
map
be
for deflect characters and could present Ribbon with some issues. But Yetta seems to be the more offensive player out of the two, even though he's not playing a deflector.
Ribbon is definitely a character that a lot of the community still doesn't really, or at least the NA community does not understand. Because this character is just, you can do a lot with Ribbon Girl that most people just aren't aware of.
Yeah, the issue I see with Ribbon Girl though is she's like the only character that her special ability is like burning resource. You know, you can kind of count her jumps and stuff, and that's when she starts getting a little screwed over. But if you play a more grounded state like Yetta here and use the resource as evasion rather than your main mind game tool, you can get a lot out of that. Defer is rocking a default Masango set right now on his Mummy. Not even a character I knew he had.
This is Scully a pretty solid pick, as that can just surprise Yada very easily with that extremely high speed. Just constantly going in for these good picks, pokes, and the Glacier is a really solid just anti-air tool.
The first movement is cracking me up. Just short dash back and forth and back and forth. I love it.
It's a good way just to keep your opponent on their toes, as you're just going every which way, and it can be really difficult for them just to kind of plan out which way you might actually be going and try to go in for a punish there.
Oh, it's the dancing Mummy, and I'm so glad this is something I'm watching. Kind of getting backed into the corner right now. His arm broken, yet not gonna screw around. Just gonna go for the rush to finish things off. 300 solid damage.
And now Yada looking for one more round to potentially take things over to face off against Grimwood one last time.
Defer has switched off of that Scully now over to Asiki. Good solid arm is going to be harder to land on Ribbon Girl since she's just going to try to get out of the way and you're not able to really make reads with that thing. Defer staying in shield right now. You're just going to go ahead and grab even though Defer had rush. Very ballsy play considering Defer is throwing with a giant ball on his arms, but he made it work.
We're just trying to find a good moment. Sees that opportunity. Does not get the Glacier to connect. And that's going to result in a lot of lost damage. But does give Defer an opportunity to start bringing things back. But now Yada has rush ready and is going to quickly throw out a grab. Defer now in a very not so fun place.
Oh, Bird's rush.
Gonna cancel out that rush though.
There's too many arms right on top of him. His health advantage is still absolute. There's about a 50% health deficit for Defer.
That Siki really not helping him out either, as he just gets stunned into a combo and is now one hit away from being taken down, and that's going to be Yada finding that final hit and heading off to face off against Grimwood.
Grimwood is the most recently sponsored player in EU, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. Sponsored here by Crit Plus. This was a solid, was this a 2-0 for Grimwood? Yeah, this was a 2-0 for Grimwood before. But Yetta has been on fire with those toasters since then, so let's see what he can do to try and get a run back.
I can definitely see Yada bringing this back, but Grim is a very tough opponent.
Yetta is going to get the first stage pick, though, which is a good advantage in any set if you get to determine the pace of the match just by what map you pick. Wait, I say Grim even recognized. Oh, wait, you banned first.
Yeah.
Yetta is gonna ban Buster. Okay, not gonna be seeing the flavor of the month today.
And as a result, we are likely going to be seeing either Sparring Ring or
Sparring or Temple left.
Temple Ground. Yeah. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Temple Ground might be the pick.
Oh, you're right.
Yo!
It is Temple. Malieve with the psychic abilities.
I'm good at this. I'm very practiced with this. I've done this a few times now. I find it entertaining and delectable.
Okay, Grimwood going for that brass. No surprises here. Not a Twintel, not a Springman. Just gonna go with his reliable boy. Still has the nade and the 2 tries on him. Yetta gonna be bringing a popper with him right now.
It worked out. It was working out pretty well here and there, but Yada was just not able to get it to work out in the end. Likely looking to try to make things work a little more differently this round.
Yeah, right away we've seen Yetta use these pillars to really good effect. There's been some times where he's just been popping in and out and saying, "Try to hit me, I freaking dare ya," and going back and forth. Grimwood does get a good hit, and he actually has the health advantage right now. But Yetta seems like he's not phased. He seems like he's kind of trying to set the pace of the match. Grimwood's just been getting good punishes off of them.
Yada claiming another popper hit in there. If he Yada is capable of catching Grimwood while he's backed up into a wall with the popper. That can be a very safe rush combo.
Oh, speaking of rush, Yetta is gonna burn it, starting out with the toaster, getting 320 as the health lead, but Grim has the rush, has had it for a while now. Oh,
Grim now ready with rush.
There.
He's likely going to want to try to find his way in and get some manner of a confirm. Sees a good read opportunity in there. Yada feeling pressured and ends up taking 170 damage and stunned into a rush combo.
Grimwood's gonna take round 1. We could see another clean, it would be a 3-0, I guess, in this scenario. But Yetta had some good plays in there. But in the end, he kind of got overwhelmed by Grimwood's mind game, especially on that one grab he did at the end. That was spicy. Good stun.
Yeah, he's just getting caught by some really scary setups. As soon as Brass gets any momentum, it's just... Yada's doing an exceptional job of just slowly bringing himself in with some safe pokes, some good attacks. But as soon as Grim just gets any kind of combo, he quickly brings things up. Any punish Grim lands is just so impactful. 150 off the nade, 120 plus pretty much anything off the tribal, 170 off the grab. It's just so much damage stacked on top of it.
And every time Grim was backed into a corner like this, you think, okay, Yetta's got the advantage. He's even got rush here. But Grimwood finds his way out. Gets a rush right there. Not going to be able to KO. He didn't land with the nade. However, he's still up by like 75% health.
Yeah, they're just trying to find their way in with 35 seconds left. It is possible to bring this back, but this is a very difficult journey to bring, and it's not even going to happen as Grim's just going to find one more hit in there and takes the first game.
Yeah, I think Yetta just needs to figure out how he can pressure Grimwood when he's in the corner. Because I saw a lot of times he'd fire one punch, the next punch, Grimwood's deflected both of them, he goes for a grab or just doesn't do anything, and Grimwood can find some way out there either through a punch or just some basic movement. So I think if Yetta maybe just keeps up that pressure, he'd be able to find a hole in Brass's deflect.
Yeah, that's a big thing too is just the fact that Yada consistently is punching at a rate that Grimwood's capable of deflecting. Definitely needs to try to find a way to time his attacks so that he can more effectively slip between those deflect cracks and actually get more punish in there. As right now,
we're gonna play on
Grimwood,
Via for this one.
Grim just effectively dancing between all of these strikes.
Let's see, they should be starting up shortly. All right, stage is set. They should be ready to go. I wonder if Yeta is gonna changes. I doubt Grimwood has made any.
Yeah.
Oh, Yeta might be changing
Yada
character?
definitely planning on coming in with a different tool set, different approach. This has been a tough matchup for Yada, so Yada definitely going to want to go in with a new style. And we're going to be seeing some Min stepping into the ring.
I've never
a very
seen him
solid
play
counter pick
anything.
loadout.
I've never seen him play anything but Ribbon. Let's see if this Min can get him the win-win. Gonna have the Megawatt on his Dragon Arm. Not the roaster like one would maybe normally expect. But having a perma-charged heavy electric could be solid against Brass. Just once again, has the kind of problem that heavies are easily deflected by the deflect characters.
You can see Yada's trying to utilize that Megawatt to punish any straightforward attacks that Grimwood's throwing out. So far, not having much luck with that though. Trying to go in for pokes with the roaster and just go in for a punish. Grimwood playing very safely, very patiently though, and is not letting himself get caught by that Megawatt. Landing that rush, and is going to keep himself in a very dominant position with a massive health lead.
It seems like Yeta's just having an issue with keeping charge. Does get a stun there, but it's not going to be able to follow up on it. Yeta, while he does have Dragon Arm a good amount of the time, not going to have it after he gets grabbed. But he's having trouble keeping that roaster charged, and that's going to be his main poke tool. And if you don't have a poke tool against an armored character, especially one as mobile as Brass, you're a little bit screwed.
It can cause a few problems.
Kind of
Heading
surprised
into
he
this next
decided
round.
to change that over to the Dragon Arm. But maybe he thinks if he just changes up his playstyle enough, he can get something. He has been keeping Grimwood out of... Oh my gosh! That was definitely just mashing the rush there. Hoping that if he doesn't get the grab in time, he'll be able to get the counter. And he does. Grimwood now at a health deficit. Not by a ton, though.
Slowly getting poked down. Yada gonna safely evade that rush. Grimwood just feeding him a little bit more rush gauge off of those shield chip hits.
Oh, is this the steelhead walk we're seeing right now? Isn't able to get a follow-up off of that stun. Grimwood is just a little bit out of being put into red, though.
Gonna get blasted by that.
Oh.
He gets stunned, and that's gonna allow Yada to get a quick grab combo, and is now just looking for one more hit. Grim gonna quickly knock Yada down, and is now just looking to quickly chain things off of a few grabs, a quick flurry of attacks,
Grimwood
and is almost ready for a rush. Grimwood grinding up that rush and is now ready to dive in there.
Oh, wait, what?
But he's gonna get punished by his own nade!
Wait, what hit it? I didn't even see anything hit it.
So the nade has a phantom self-explosion glitch that's been in this game for quite a while. There is a possibility at any time for an exchange like that to happen, where the nade will retract and then explode.
Huh, I've never ever seen that happen. That was
It's
really
very rare.
interesting to say the least. In all of my months commentating, I didn't even know that was a thing, but I decided that potentially the entire match right there.
It definitely determined that last round, and Grim gonna go in, double dipping on that explosion now, equipping a Tri-Blast. Starting off very strong, but Yada gonna respond with a rush. And is
I
now
hope
looking for
his
just...
sake it doesn't happen twice now that he's got double explosion. Has been making it work. Gonna get Rush in just a second. Off of that shield. Goes for the parry. Off of the Megawatt. Does land it. 280 damage. Yet a one hit away. Oh, that explosion.
Yeah, gonna
was
get
almost
caught
it.
by that explosion.
Oh,
And that
there we
straight
go.
Tri-Blast is going to be enough to give Grimwood his second game.
Yeah, Yeta only one game away now from being knocked out of this tournament and Grim being able to move on to refight Iceman. Let's see what the
All
bands
these
are
players
gonna be.
both of these players wanting some manner of a salty run back here. Yada trying to reclaim himself after being knocked down by Grim. Grim wanting to try to bring things back and face off against Iceman. Both of these two have been swept by their opponents. Likely wanting to try to come up back with some different approach, some different tool style.
Oh, Grim has to ask how many stages he bans. This really has turned into the tutorial tournament here in Losers Finals. Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's see what you gonna ban, Grim. DNA and Scrap. Okay, same stage bans as before.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna need to come up with a solid strategy here. Just nothing's really working out for him right now. Grimwood just effectively pressuring, just getting these really solid punishes, and just playing very effectively.
Oh, they're gonna go to Temple Grounds this time. Alright.
Yada's last stand is going to be in Temple Grounds.
We saw... Who did we see Yetta fight? I feel like we saw Yetta fight someone on Temple Grounds before, right? Who was it?
Grim?
Was it? Okay.
Probably.
See, Yetta has a Tri-Blast in tow. He's gone back over to the Ribbon Girl. Not gonna bother with his Min-Min. He wants to make sure that if he's got a last stand, it's gonna be the best one he can possibly make it.
The Tri-Blast's a pretty solid pick too. It can catch Brass off guard very easily with some solid aims. Alongside that Toaster, just gives a lot of solid pressure. Starting things off, both players at about even. Go ahead.
Oh, Grimwood has not been able really to fight. He does finally find a buff up there. Gonna have it refreshed by the grab. For a while, Yetta was kind of boxing him out of keeping the buff. And that can be a struggle for Brass players, especially if their opponent is putting on good pressure. It's not just finding a buff, but keeping it afterwards. Good rush use right there. Gonna knock Yetta right out of the skies. Has him down now to a last hit scenario. Anything's gonna kill at this point.
Gotta get some chipping and follows it up with a well-timed rush, getting 280 damage. Still vulnerable to anything, taking Yada down. Really has to be careful for this next 300 damage that needs to land on Grim. Gonna get another hit in there.
Oh, I'm just in shock.
And dodges once more.
Now. Not only is he using the jump super effectively, but he's using air stall in combination with this. And he's got the health advantage by like 5 now.
17 seconds left on the clock. Grimwood just trying to time things out, bring things out so he could get his rush, but he's not going to get that chance as the spread of those shots, the pressure, Yada is able to take the first round here. And is going to force, or almost forces Grim to switch over to the Tri-Blast himself. But Grim going to stick with the Tribal here.
The rush to 320 damage. Grim is going to get rushed in a second, but not without taking even more. Yetta has shown that his last stand is not going to go down whimpering. He's going to make this a fight that Grimwood is going to have to go through hell for. And is still sitting on a perfect, I think. Okay, not
Grim
anymore.
gonna catch that good read. Recognize Yada just fearing that potential rush, just choosing to shield it out. But now is out in the open again because of that and is going to quickly ship Grim down and gets a game set to himself. Does have a huge journey to go through though now, as Grimwood has the opportunity to pick a stage of his own favoring.
I'm just in absolute awe of Yetta's movement here. Not only did he completely go in between a tri-bolt and a nade that was snaking back and forth, he followed up with a rush. And from then on was using air stall to such great effect. Oh my gosh, Yetta, you're a madman. And they're gonna go to Buster now. They're gonna bust a beach. Grim bringing out Cobra. I knew he had one of these, but I didn't know if he was ready to use this in tournament or not.
Quick tip, Hammer. Using the same pun 3 or 4 times in one tournament is generally not very effective. Unless you're going for the joke of you... The bust up of this beach. You use the beach puns a lot. Lots of beach puns.
It's just a play on bust a move.
You gotta be careful with your puns. They get.
I have to ration them out.
You gotta ration them. You get too excited with your puns, you're gonna turn into Grimwood right here, just eating up these hits. Or you could be just, I don't know where I'm going with this, but carrying on with the match. Not very effective.
Grim is using
Grim
the popper clapback loadout that's been seen many times, starting out in the Japanese meta, brought over to America by Pineapple Freak, and now looks like it's made its way over to EU. Both of them on very close health. Yetta with a pretty good rush lead. Health is dead even though, so who knows how this could go.
Clapback being a very difficult thing for Yetta to play against, as it's constantly just catching these straightforward shots that Yetta has. Yetta getting another win confirmed, does not follow up with the rush, wanting to hold on to it potentially for this next round. Maybe feeling like he's able to just bring things back or keep things in his favor from here on.
Going for the rush right there.
Chooses to go for it there, and it's going to connect.
So the Toaster just being in the prime position to go around the clapback, landing right in the hot face.
Both players sticking with their loadouts. Grim having a very solid tool against Ribbon Girl. But Yetta, just a very admirable one and very difficult one to play against. Ends up taking 50 alongside the chip, but still only took a little bit of damage off that rush.
Grimwood is looking like he's going for some clapback cancel plays right now. In the end, though, it's just been his straight shots that have been rewarding him. He's got to make sure to keep his body a little more safe, though. You notice him kind of darting out of the clapback as soon as it's out. And that hasn't been allowing him to be protected. Yetta is just aiming around it.
Both players at about even on health. Yetta likely will want to use this rush before Grim gets his second rush ready, as that thing's just going to trump Yetta so hard.
Oh, good hit right there. Gets the 1-2 knockdown. Grim down to a third of his health. Is this going to kill?
Gets the win confirmed! That's not going to be enough, but that is a solid amount of damage. It now just needs a stray popper confetti bullet from the Toaster.
Yetta on the road to the reverse 3-0 right now. We're going to Game 5 of this Losers Finals. Sparring and Via gonna be Yetta's bands. Grimwood gonna have to find a good response.
We might be seeing Grim go back to Max Brass here, potentially going back to Buster Beach once more, seeing if Brass might work out a little more favorably, or he might just want to might have another tool that he's just going to want to try to bring out, as this Ribbon Girl is all of a sudden just that much more terrifying for him. It doesn't seem like he's got too many answers for it anymore.
Let's see if anything is gonna be announced. Grim really needs to think about what he's gonna choose as a map here, since his last counter pick did result in a win for Yetta. Probably gonna switch off of that Cobra. Though depending
This Kid Cobra wasn't feeling that hot right there.
Yeah, he ended up taking a lot of fiery punches to his face. They're gonna go stay on Buster though.
And I'm guessing we're gonna see Brass this time.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah. Bring him out in his advantage state. This could work out pretty well for him.
Into Brass's last stand, despite Yetta being the one on the verge of getting 3-0'd. Has a Chilla now, a callback to Grimwood's older days.
The Chilla, pretty solid tool. I'm not sure it's going to be a smart pick here, as that's going to be really easy for Yetta just to safely dodge around. It does give Grim more combo potentials, but it's just going to be a lot harder for him to catch Yetta even on the ground with that thing.
He's got to make sure, since he is playing with a slower glove overall too, he's got to make sure his movement is more safe. Does get a good 1-2 in right there, able to buff up. It's just not able to land hits on Yetta though. Yetta's movement is so good. Oh my gosh! Good
Deflects
use of the rush right there.
What the heck? That was like a madness combo.
Oh, last second deflect too. Gets a grab in.
And into the grab. Now just looking a straight explosion. Grim making the right choice there, recognizing that explosion would have been a KO.
Grimwood is not able to really mount an offense here. He has to stay back because of Yetta's ability to push him back and his low health. And now Grimwood is one round away from getting reverse 3-0'd. Going for the rush right off the bat. Is going to land it. Not going to be a ton of damage. Only 220. but he's going to be able to get a second one in this round at some point for sure.
But Chilla not being as effective as the nade on shield pressure, Yada just safely holding shield and blocking it, and not even showing a sign of fear there. That thing just not catching him nearly as well. Does get the grab combo with the tribal, and that's going to help Grimwood hold this lead for now.
Ooh.
But Yada gonna see another chance to go in for rush. Doesn't get the full thing to connect.
Kind of just drops it in the middle. Is now playing very patiently. I'm not sure what he's standing around for. Grim able to get the grab right there. And now we're on game 5, round 3.
That was an awkward pause.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe Yetta was gonna try to find some response there. If maybe he recognized, like, don't know if I can do it this round, might as well just give it up. And Grim is gonna start up on the top. Has his rush available, Yetta with barely any.
That's a big risky thing that Yada did do at that point, is just risks just not having a rush at all going into this. But going to start off pretty strong, safely blocking that rush, building up a lot from all that shield chip damage, and is now pushing Grimwood back. And evades that grab and follows it up with a grab of their own. Yada in a very dominant position.
He's been making really good use of trying to bait Grim into shield. And when he conditions Grim out of it, he just gets a good punch right there. And Grim is not going to get perfected, but that's it. He's
He just couldn't do anything there. Yada demonstrating why you do not mess with him. As he makes a clean comeback against Grim and moves on to the grand finals.
Okay, so the reason Yetta stopped moving was because his controller died. I guess he was able to plug it in the end there. But, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that explains a lot. And even with that, Yetta still, with a dead controller, able to wrest control of the match and takes it.
He just started controlling Ribbon Girl with his mind, became one with his character.
Just fused right in.
Let's see. The reverse 3-0 there by Yetta. The first that we've seen today. Now he's gonna move on to fight Iceman. Gonna have to get the bracket reset if he wants to take this tournament. Oh, hold on. We actually have some deliberation going on right now. There was some lag potential going on.
Yeah, we'll hold out on that. We'll just see what happens, what the two decide on right now. But as it currently stands, Yada and Grim holding it neck to neck. They might just be diving right back in to do a quick redo, or they'll be able to just. We might be moving on and just have our grand finals.
Okay, I think they're gonna go straight back in. Last round.
That last round was not official. One of the problems, I didn't fix the overlay right, so that also didn't help. That messed up Grim's mojo. So now overlay is set up properly. Now we're good.
Okay, Grim is gonna go with a nade now. Moving in, slowly just walking forward, and is getting bullied by this tribal. Oh, seems like maybe the lag.
Something.
It's probably the lag. He's probably noticing too much lag to really do anything.
Oh, we're just deciding on how it's actually going. Because it was only specifically one round. I think that might have been the issue.
Are we doing a restart of the restart?
We will determine in just a brief moment. While we're waiting, why don't we bring up the fact that this isn't the only EU event that's going on. We actually have another one coming up tomorrow for any participants who might be interested. We've got the Scrap Star series happening 8 p.m. Rifa time, if I'm not mistaken. And you can just sign up, enter for the brackets right there if you'd like. And for those who might be interested in, say, an NA bracket, we do also have one just for you, ready to present. And you can sign
if
up
you're
for
looking
that
for
right here.
another NA friendly time, we're gonna have COTE once again tonight, or both zones will also have the Fellows TV the brackets next week on next Sunday. One for NA, one for EU, and you're doing the.
I'm gonna be doing the EU one. That is correct.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have a link to Champions of the Era that you might want to drop?
Let me go onto my challenge real quick and grab it. COTE 33 tonight. Alright, cool. Alright, we just drop that in. And let's get the link to the Fellows TV thing as well.
Yeah, we might as well do that.
Here we go. Fellows TV Open Circuit 3. Here we go. So yeah, that one's gonna be around Smash GG instead of Challenge, but it will be there'll be stuff for both sides, and we have a lot of returning players from both regions.
Wow, perfect!
Most notably, Resolve and Gore are coming back on the NA side, and we have S3 is coming back for EU. Oh yeah, who is Gengen? I heard the name around, but I have no idea who Gengen is.
We can talk about this later, as we are going to be returning right back into our match. Both players diving right back in. Yada gonna stick with the Toaster Tri-Blast, and Grim gonna go in with the Nade this time, potentially trying to utilize that shield pressure more effectively. But Yada is just gonna come out very strong with some very effective pressure, and is gonna quickly throw Grim into 50% health. Finally getting some chip damage.
He's been conditioning Grimwood to stay in shield, and every time he's not in shield, he just lands one of those perfect.
And just quickly, that's not a perfect, as he took one chip damage.
Oh
but
my gosh.
Just takes it so hard. Just dominates. Dominated.
Oh my word. In the end, even though this was supposed to be just a nice clean round, it looked like it was one of those rounds they were just killing each other. Fantastic play by Yeta. As soon as he was down and out and risked getting 3-0, he flipped some kind of switch in his head, said, "Now is my time." You say run from My Hero Academia played in the back of his head, and he brought it all the way back.
I activate my trap card. Perfect counter sweep. This undoes everything you've done to this point and gives me 3 match wins, taking the set and moving on in brackets.
That's not a bad Yami Yugi impression. Oh my gosh, that's actually pretty decent.
Nah, it's like, it's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. I'll take alright, but I'm not taking pretty good.
I guess now they're gonna go and fight Yeta versus Iceman. The top 2 seeds in this tournament, right? Yeah. Top 2 prevailing.
There's a reason why these are the top 2. These are 2 very just powerful, very strong, very experienced players in the scene. And both generally have playstyles that are a little more unconventional to what an NA player might be used to. So they're really solid at just catching people off guard. It's even in the EU area. Nobody's ready for them.
Yeah, Iceman as he has not just his min set here as well. He also has that Seiki ribbon that he got famous for initially and was what let him rise to the top of the EU PR. So he has a lot of different things at his disposal. He has really like 2 distinct sets that fit a lot. He can either go offensive with his Seiki ribbon, or he can go kind of more of a zony with his min.
Indeed. And just as Fellows TV graciously answered that question you had, Hama, Gengen is a Twitch-partnered ARMS streamer from Japan.
Oh, okay, that explains why I've heard the name before. I don't know if he was like a commentator from like Street Fighter or something, because I've heard the name around. They're gonna go to Temple Grounds to start this off.
No, it kind of feels off because I haven't had audio because there was some weird glitch that happened with my TV and there was just not time to fix it up. This entire tournament's been just mute. I haven't heard a single noise from ARMS. I know it's going into the stream, which is the important part. This is very important, but it's like it just makes I'm just sitting here in awkward silence. I mean, I could probably play like Celeste music or something and enjoy. I could listen to Celeste music. I'll do that in a minute, as we're going to be heading straight into our first match of the grand finals. Yada facing off against Iceman. Iceman, the first seed, Yada, seed number 2. And we have seen why these two players are seeded so highly.
Yeah, we start off with Iceman doing what's one of the hardest things to do in the game, is get Ice Dragon Ice Chains. You'd think in theory those would never happen, but Iceman and the other players like Twin have been making them happen so well, and Yetta, despite steam rolling through Grimwood at the end there, has been getting bashed and battered by Iceman, who's still in 75% of his health.
Yeah, they're just trying to find his way in, maybe start something, but he's just not having any luck whatsoever.
Oh, and
one
there's the
final
KO
Ice
there.
Dragon hit is going to be enough. Iceman taking the first round.
Min Min's quick movement, even when immobilized by an arm being out, has really been coming into Iceman's favor. You see, he just reads or reacts to which direction Yetta is throwing punish tools out, and just kind of moves out of the way, and is mostly unaffected by these. Does get hit by a tri-bolt there, and is knocked down by the 1-2. And for his rush right here, not gonna land. The curve was just not going the right direction for him, and now Yetta has his rush online.
Yetta trying to get in there, start some pressure, but this Ice Dragon and the Chakram are just making it really difficult for him to close in that distance.
Has been playing more to his shield right now, which is a good strategy, as well as using 1 or 2 jumps to try to get around the blind spots right here. Just, oh, there we go. There's the toaster landing. And now we've got a complete
you're hearing
reversal
that? Okay,
situation.
I'll turn it off. I'm turning it off. That was B. It's off.
Complete reverse right there. Yetta finishing with 75% of his health over Iceman. Let's see how this is going to steamroll. Iceman no longer using that Ice Dragon, switching off for the Sparky and Chakram. Chakram being the choice for the Dragon Arm. Yetta trying to put up some pressure. Has to go into his shield a lot, though. This set is very safe against shield, especially with Yetta's arm being close to breaking. Not even going to stay for the shield. Catches Yetta's landing lag and gets a good 335 off of a rush.
Yeah, they're gonna get a quick 1-2 in with that tri-bolt. Looking for a little bit more damage. Does have rush ready. Iceman still holding on to a pretty solid lead though, but he's gonna quickly have that quick taken away from a quick chain of hits.
Yeah, finally we're seeing a match that's not ending in like 20 seconds with a complete steamroll. Very close in health. Yetta though does have rush. Could potentially kill, especially if he gets a stun confirmed into it.
And that's gonna be a stun, but it's not gonna follow up with a rush. Yetta also capable of getting a setup for a rush here.
Oh! This is gonna come down to a rush scenario, probably.
Both players just looking for that moment. Iceman going to miss just by hairs here. Yetta going to now try to close in the distance. Might be able to get that first KO.
That was such a good kickflip by Iceman, backdashing. Oh, that's it!
That is going to be a solid stun. Iceman taking the first round with a solid confirm.
Gosh. That kickflip that Iceman did in the air, backdashing away from, I think that was the tri-bolt. That was just one of the best kickflips I've ever seen. Oh my gosh.
Kickflipping is a very risky thing to do, but it has some strong rewards. You just have to be able to find those small windows of opportunities to effectively use it.
Alright, they're saying there's no lag too. Good, clean, even fight.
I'm
Let's see
suspecting both players are probably going to be sticking with their loadouts. They've got some good approaches, they got good tools, and they were both making it work very exceptionally. That said, I wouldn't be surprised to see
Sparring and
either
Via gonna be the bans.
experiment in any way whatsoever. Mausoleum can be a very good stage for Ribbon Girl Yada in this matchup, as it's going to be a lot harder for Iceman to find that room to get the Dragon Arm set up.
Okay, Mausoleum gonna be where they're going right now. Both of them sticking with this set. I see Yetta has that Mander on him. He hasn't busted it out at all today. He's been sticking with the double toaster or the toaster tribal. I mean, they've been doing a lot for him. They got him into grand finals on loser's side.
The Mander is a really effective tool, but it can be risky to use just in a lot of matchups. I'd actually say this potentially might be a good matchup if he just finds that right opportunity. It can likely be used just for mind games, just kind of setting it up to encourage Iceman into potentially being a little more... Get Iceman really focused on these two arms, and once he starts to get an understanding of what he needs to do against this, Yetta can just quickly switch it up on the dime and now has a really strong curve arm.
Yeah, has been switching up his playstyle now, going less for the shield pokey type, and instead just going for all-out offense. Iceman down to last sliver of his health. He's gonna finally get Dragon Arm up, but with both rushes on the field, Yetta is gonna have the opportunity to end things very quickly on a whim. Doesn't even need to burn the rush though, gets a tribal poke, and that's gonna do that round in favor of Iceman. I mean, I'm sorry, in favor of Yetta.
Yeah, Yetta doing a solid job there, and just Tribal is... Tribal and Triblast, their uncharged state, it's heavily used, but I still feel like it's pretty underrated how powerful they are uncharged. You just get so many safe punishes, safe pokes in there, and there's oftentimes very little your opponent can do about it. They'll just waltz into so many of these hits and constantly knock you down. That's going to be the first hit on that pillar. Yetta not going to be able to fight back as he was in the air and just completely outweighed by the glove chakram rush.
Yeah, Iceman though is knocked down. The trampoline is out. Good advantage state for Ribbon here. Gonna get a lot of jump refreshes going. However, Iceman with that 5 girth Sparky is able to knock down so much.
And now Yetta just gonna take advantage of that trampoline to stay in a perpetual state of motion. Trampolines or springboards are just some of the strongest things Ribbon Girl can have because it allows her to just always be on the move. That problem where you can count how many times until she lands, it's basically gone when the trampoline is out because she can just lean into that.
Oh, Yetta gonna be able to block. Gets some good parries there. However, gets a little too flashy with this. Gets a poke right there. Oh, Iceman on the magic pixel.
That's not gonna connect! Yetta at the last possible moment capable of pulling out the rush and gets a game off in favor of their own.
Even if Iceman was able to get the shield up in time, he would have been pushed back onto the trampoline too, proving once again that springboards are a girl's best friend.
I mean, in that case, it technically wasn't too because Min Min's also a female, so it didn't work out for that girl.
Springboards are a Ribbon girl's best friend. Let's phrase it that way.
Sure, that works better.
Let's see, Buster and Temple gonna be the bans by Yetta.
And we are going to be heading over to the scrapyard. This can be work very solidly for either side. This is a good stage for Ribbon Girl. One of the few characters who can just from the base of the floor can quickly hop back to that highest platform at the back. Min Min also gets a lot of we're gonna just have a double Min.
Here we go.
We're getting a Ribbon mirror.
Now is Iceman gonna be running that? Oh, actually no Seiki on his side. Instead going for what was that arm? A Coolerang, a Triblast, and a Nade versus Yetta's double toaster.
Both having pretty similar loadouts, but with a lot of just minor details. And we're going to see a lot of dancing, just strong movement from both of these players, as these two are very experienced with Ribbon Girl.
Yeah, hopefully Iceman is able to switch up his playstyle pretty well. There can be an issue if you have main multiple characters of thinking that you're in the play state for the last one, so looks like Iceman, though, has gotten out of Min Min habits already and is doing full Ribbon things, like multiple air dashes, using the fast falling to good effect. Iceman is no slouch when it comes to his Ribbon Girl.
Both players now ready with Rush. Both about even on health pools too, just trading back and forth. Getting a strong blow here, the other one responding with a strong blow as well. both pillars still standing, taking very minimal damage. I think that one pillar's only taking maybe 1 or 2 hits.
Oh, Yetta coming down, getting caught by an explosion, however, was grounded, so only 50 damage and a little bit of stagger applying. And now it looks like Iceman is trying to get these pillars out of the way. Yetta is able to find his way in around them, and Iceman does not want to let that happen.
20 seconds left on the clock. It seems very unlikely for Yada to be able to bring this back. Needs 1 or 2 strong hits with the charged toaster and a strong rush, and that's probably not going to be able to connect in 10 seconds. A rush might actually be enough right here, but Yada has to get a good read.
Oh, Iceman putting himself in dangerous ways so many times. Not going to be enough.
That's not going to be enough.
Oh, and maybe Yetta had gone for it a little bit sooner, he would have been able to get it. We saw Iceman just kind of standing in his face.
He would have needed the finishing touch, and he just couldn't. When he chose to go for that rush, he was not going to be able to get a finishing touch out there.
Iceman has his rush online now, which is kind of a discouraging thing to look at once you just burn yours to no avail. Yetta gonna try to get on the top platform. It has been working for him, getting some solid pokes in there. A double knockdown, resetting the... But Yetta gonna be at advantage from the start, just thanks to his previous position.
Yada quickly moving down on the lower end. Iceman now quickly jumping right over, just closing in that distance. Doesn't go for the rush confirm, just goes for a quick juggle there, and follows up with a grab.
Oh, Yetta
sets up
is
another
in
blast.
Danger. The rush gonna come out. However, gonna land right in time. Not gonna quite get the shield break, but that arm is looking dangerously low. Breaks mid-air, and he's now down to... Oh, yep, there's the splash explosion.
That splash explosion just catching so many people. It's such a scary thing. And it's... You never expect it. But then it catches you. And then you die.
Yeah, you really have to watch your toesies or you're about to step on a landmine, and no one wants to reenact the Vietnam War.
Hey, Penzo. Ribbon is only that tier in the NA because we don't get to see these two in action too often.
No, see, I actually agree with Gillyboat here that Ribbon is F. Because Ribbon is bad and she's also ugly, and I will stand by that statement. I don't like Ribbon Girl's design.
No,
Her
Gilly
face
is
unsettling.
Gilly is paying respect to this mighty foe that is the Ribbon Girl. And just I don't think many of us could live against either of these ribbons.
Oh no, they're really freaking strong players, and they're gonna potentially finish things up on Mausoleum. Iceman is up 2-1 right now, able to seal out the tournament if he takes this game.
Yada definitely needing a couple more rounds to be able to get the bracket reset. Making a strong choice with that popper, and is going to immediately be rewarded, catching Iceman as he leaps into the air.
Yeah, the big spread and the conical shape will do a good amount against Ribbon. However, Iceman does have the tools to try to poke them down if he punches through them. I'm not sure how the tries interact with Popper. Is it possible for it to knock down both hits? It seems like it might be.
There's a few different ways that the Tri-Blast can interact with the Popper. When it's in a charged state, the Tri-Blast acts as a single projectile, but the large size of it allows them to kind of trade evenly.
Ooh,
when the Tri-Blast is in an uncharged state, there are cases where, depending on positioning, generally the Tri-Blast will beat out 2 of the Popper hits and 1 straight hit will continue.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but right now, Yetta has been keeping... By being on the back wall and having all these projectiles coming at him, gets another good knockdown right there, and Iceman is still pressured against the wall. Good grab right there, oh my word.
Depending on how the uncharged Tri-Blast connects with the Popper though, there are cases where only one Tri-Blast will stop, one Popper, and that means that the rest of the shots all continue, so the Popper can break through a Tri-Blast.
Getting knocked down right there, has Iceman on the ropes, down to a last hit. And that toaster is going to
connect.
Yetta 1 round away from making this 2-2. Potentially looking to reset the bracket very soon. However, if he does win this one, Iceman would have 1 more. Switching over now to a double nade. Not going to want to worry about light arm interactions. Just going to be able to power through them.
That Popper really working out. Iceman swapping over to double nade. to try to combat that double, or that popper setup. Going to end up whiffing on that rush. Yada dodging out of the way in the midst of that rush flurry right there.
He went for the same patient setup that Yetta's been doing the whole... But I guess Yetta was ready, wasn't going to get battered down by his own strat, and just kind of shielded it against it. And now he has his own rush. Iceman pushed up against the wall. Good knockdown though, Iceman going to be able to get out, but Yetta once again adopting the middle section.
Both players definitely wanting that section down, as it really benefits Ribbon Girl. This can be a really nice stage, but you don't see it break open very often because neither really gets knocked down in a way that causes that middle platform to open up. They're just so high in the air that their knockback just reaches all the way across.
Iceman has finally taken the health advantage. Oh, Yetta went for a true summon confirm. Isn't able to land it. Iceman avoiding the rush. No punish. But that's an unfortunate time for Yetta, especially since he's fighting against two nades at a weight disadvantage. Oh, wow, okay.
Yada continuing up the pressure, continuing to hold a small lead, but Iceman going to quickly even it out, and now is just looking for one more hit with a charge nade. Yada looking for a hit themselves. Just
that could be everything.
Going back and forth.
Iceman's gonna burn the rush. Not gonna be anything. It's out though.
Not enough time.
Splash damage.
That's another time we've seen splash damage determine a match.
Oh, once again, Yetta pulling out a victory with splash. And we're at 2-2 now. However, this is gonna be Iceman's counter pick. I could even see him staying here on Mausoleum potentially.
It's a good stage for Ribbon Girl. Like, allows her a lot of very strong opportunities. Especially when both players are Ribbon Girls.
Alright,
but we are going to be finding our way to the scrapyard one more time. Might not see a Ribbon Girl on Iceman's side. We might bring out a different character to try to combat against this. But we are going to see the double Ribbon Girl matchup once more for this grand finals.
See, same sets still. Iceman not going to go over to his Seiki. I mean, it makes sense. It is going to be harder to hit Seiki. Going to have a Coolerang and a nade right now, ditching those light arms, ditching the double nade. Just wants to have some kind of thing to swat Ribbon Girl out of the air like the fly she can be.
We've seen the Coolerang work pretty well against Yada before, especially in Replicant's match. Maybe Iceman's looking to try to do something similar right here. But so far, Yada just holding onto a light lead, effectively applying pressure, getting those really solid pokes. Popper is a solid tool against Ribbon Girls. It just covers so much of her ground.
Yeah, both of them have left the top platform now with Yetta going back up. I like seeing what Iceman does here. Gets a really good air right there. He's been using the ledge of the scrapyard as his own little personal shield so he can stay safe in the air. Not going to be able to get anything out of that rush other than some chip. And health and rush is all in favor of Yetta right now. Yetta
just looking to find an opportunity to get in there and seal the deal with 30 seconds left on the clock. It's likely going to be a KO that's going to be coming up, especially with Iceman building up as much rush as he is. Gets right out of that rush as it only gets a couple of straight hits in there.
Health is kind of low and there's only 20 seconds left on the clock, but I think it's going to be dicey, but if he gets his rush in time, there might be time to bring it back. I don't think so anymore. Yeah, not if you get punched in the face.
That Popper just catching his movement time and time again. Iceman going to bring out the Tri-Blast here in an attempt to close out the prevent a bracket reset.
Iceman is going to start off with Rush right now. Gets blown backwards and has to mount his offense all over again. It's weird to see Yetta being the more defensive one right now, but it's working out in his favor. He's forcing Iceman into bad positions. He's just having to either get hit by the Popper or land in an unsafe spot.
And Yada is doing an exceptional job of just taking advantage of these explosive arms, just punishing Iceman over and over, getting all of these stray explosions. Right now, I'm pretty sure Iceman's taken more damage from his explosions than he's really dealt to Yada.
Oh, there's the rush coming out. No, cancel. Iceman gonna go for the counter rush. Is gonna land it despite not landing the first couple hits. For a good 250. Health down to even with Iceman having a slight lead.
Players just going back and forth. Iceman finally gonna get a quick 1-2 in there.
Oh, bullying with the
Starts getting some momentum.
Getta's on Magic Pixel, however, he does get a good knockdown there. Is able to reestablish himself. Has to just make sure he... Oh, he dropped shield too. I was just about to say, make sure you don't drop shield too early, and he doesn't.
That explosion catching both players. Both have been knocked down, taken some heavy blows because of those explosions. That thing is a very double-edged blade. Worked out for Iceman in that end, but it's causing him a lot of troubles too, as Yada just can effectively punish them and has found a lot of good opportunities just to chip in damage against those arms.
Oh, there's the rush coming out. Hits the first hit, drops the rest, but 240 damage going to be applied after a re-pickup. This is the potential last round or the bracket reset of the whole tournament. Both of these players really want to make something happen. Yeta just getting knocked down by these explosions. Iceman with the top platform. Yeta has to rise to the occasion to fight him. Gonna go for the rush, and Iceman is able to block all of that and get a good explosion for his troubles.
Iceman just holding on to a slight lead here. Does have rush ready, just looking to try to close out that distance and potentially get it confirmed, or just hold on to it as a defensive option to overwhelm Yada if they choose to go in for a rush anytime soon. That's not gonna happen right away, but it can happen pretty soon as Yada's just throwing out so many attacks, constantly dashing, charging up. Right now trying to find a way in, getting a couple of quick pokes, and dodges the rush.
That rush.
Almost gets a punish on there.
That rush could have been everything. I don't think Yeta was quite at kill percent, but he sure was close. And now Iceman is getting dangerously close to rush kill as well. Going for the rush right there.
Goes in for the rush. It's gonna connect.
Not gonna be able to kill
and
though.
now,
but Yeta has
8 seconds left.
Back from this. I don't think he can. I think that's a bracket reset.
That's too much pressure, and Yada going to reset the brackets.
Yeah, Yeta barely threw out any arms there at the end. Was just kind of content to stay in the face of Iceman, go around everything, and we're gonna be seeing a clean restart of the set.
Iceman just a little too anxious with that rush. Ended up getting punished pretty hard for it. Maybe not taking any damage, but no longer having it available just gave Yada the window that they needed to be able to take that round and bring the score to 1-1.
Alright, let's see what they're going to be doing in terms of bans now. Okay, who banned? Does Iceman still ban first? Looks like he does.
First seed would still ban.
Okay. Alrighty, Iceman's gonna ban sparring. Maz and Temple gonna be struck by Yeta, leaving Buster and another Sade. DNA, that's what it leaves. Yeah, as they're pointing out in the EU server, their movement is just insane today, and they're gonna go to Buster.
This movement does reward these players, as whoever takes first is getting a decent sum of money. Second place also getting some rewarding cash to come out in their own possession. So definitely worth it.
I'm wondering if Iceman is going to stay as Ribbon, or if he's going to go back to Min to maybe try to see if that will work. He's going to stay the Ribbon, though. Okay.
This is the second last. Oh, okay. So it's good. These two are trying to go out with a bang, too. Make sure that they get as good of a placement as possible to just look as fabulous as they possibly could.
Iceman has switched his setup here. I see he's got a Parasol now. Interesting arm to choose. I'm trying to think
It's a good response to the Popper.
Yeah, that
will
definitely help cut through that light arm that Yeta's been rocking that's been proving some trouble for Iceman. Could even see if some situations where he sets it up so Ribbon has to land on top of it and gets blown back. However, he's still getting hit by this Toaster constantly.
And the big trick, like, while the popper isn't, or the parasol is an effective tool to stop the popper, it's a little slow sometimes and can leave you vulnerable. So as long as Yata is just staying on the move, as we're seeing right now, just weaving between these attacks, it leaves Iceman a little more open than he was with Tri-Blast or another nade.
Yeah, the issue I could see here is Parasol does not curve very well at all, especially not after you've already thrown it out. So if Yeta is able to just get a jump over it or to the side, he's just in a completely vulnerable state. And we see right there, Yeta taking that one with half health remaining and Rush still intact. Iceman, yes, recognizing the Parasol was the issue there, switching back over to the Tri-Blast. This should allow him to keep his mobility still going and not allow Yeta to capitalize on some lag.
Does capitalize on a quick opportunity for a grab though, and is gonna follow up with a rush, even baiting out Iceman's punish, and now is in a very strong position.
Iceman is at 2/3 of his health, but Yeta finally getting touched for the first time in 20 seconds of the match. Yeta just using those explosions, as you said, the double edge. The edge is right now pointed at Iceman.
Iceman just taking more and more damage, slowly stacking up, and is just about to be knocked into red as Yata now has Rush, like, moments away from being prepared. Iceman quickly charging up their Rush as well, and now his own does have a shield breaker opportunity if he chooses to go for it.
Gets a nice hit down right there. I think Yeta is just wondering if he should burn this Rush or not. The fact that he's now in kill percent against Iceman. Health is dead even. I don't know if there's even a single point separating them. Iceman gonna go with that Rush first. It's gonna kill with the nade there. Okay.
The finishing touch being more than enough to take Yata down. These players sticking to very even. The only thing we haven't seen yet is a double KO.
One thing I'm noticing happen a lot is Yeta is landing both hits of the popper on separate points of Iceman's body. So not only is he taking the 120 from the charged popper, but he's also getting hit by his own explosions. So every single one of those charged hits is dealing like 170, which is not a number. It's a Kid Cobra grab to you every single time you get hit in the air. It's honestly kind of ridiculous how much damage potential Yeta has with this.
Yeah, you've got to be really careful with, especially when wielding two explosive arms against just a wide range of attacks. Like, it covers so much ground. Iceman catching that movement.
Iceman, despite getting bracket reset, is not gonna make this. Not gonna let Yeta win this without a huge fight. Yeta has Rush right now, though, kind of moving in, getting a good popper.
Gets a win confirmed,
Iceman
follows up with the juggle. That could have been a KO right there.
Yeah, if he had maybe gone for the Rush, it could have landed. However, he does still have this. Oh, another opportunity. I think maybe he was too far away right there. But
that one was too far away. Another stray explosion, and now Yata just looking for a single more hit. Iceman also just looking for a couple of hits.
Oh, Iceman gets Rush, burns it right away. Yeta was prepared for that, though. No shield break even happening. However, he is down to last hit.
He is gonna reach in.
The popper, though.
And is able to connect, taking the first round.
The Iceman cometh, but Yeta cometh back even stronger, taking so many rounds off of Iceman. They're all super close, but Yeta is the stronger finisher here.
Just starting to get a pretty steady tempo of rounds and leads. Iceman definitely needing to... Iceman starting to get pressured into having to experiment a little bit more. Try to find a way around this popper because this thing is just causing so many challenges for him.
Oh. We're gonna go to Sparring Ring now. This is a stage Yeta was commanding earlier in other sets, but now Iceman has seen maybe this is his time to shine.
This can be a really scary place as it's a tight-knit stage. There's a lot of walls just surrounding the players. If Yata is able to land a popper, there's a lot of cases where Yata will probably have just very safe rush opportunities if they choose to go for it.
The issue I could see though with that Yeta could have in this situation is Iceman is rocking the double explosions. And since there are a lot of walls and it's very close, the floors and the walls are all prime places to start aiming nades at to try to catch Yeta off of his game.
Heading into this next round, it looks like Iceman sticking with the Tri-Blast, with the nade here. Yata just... That popper is doing so much work here. It keeps catching Iceman, and it's causing him so many challenges. As, like you said, it keeps doing all this arm damage while stacking up additional damage, and it's just... Every time it's catching his landing or his jumps, gets the confirm off of that explosion. And the disadvantages to these Tri-Blast and nade setup continue stacking up for Iceman, as he's now gonna get punished by a grab confirm off of his own arm.
Oh, there's Iceman going up for the rush a little bit late. I guess he was worried about the camera not resetting the right way, but Yeta is able to get his own rush off of that. And now Iceman is at a complete disadvantage back into the corner with nowhere to go set up. Oh, good explosion.
Does start getting a couple of very needed nade hits. Follows up with a third one and is now in a light lead. If Yata is able to get any confirmed,
off of that.
Yata can potentially get a KO if he gets a Win Yabuki off here. And considering Iceman is just constantly against a wall, that's likely what can happen. Iceman now also just vulnerable to pretty much any, potentially a grab even to get the KO.
Iceman has been doing a good job of keeping himself safe against the popper.
That punish!
The rush again. Yeta didn't even need to use a single one that round. Iceman just goes a little late every time.
Yata is just demonstrating his understanding of this matchup right now. Just making all of the right calls, all of these right plays, getting these incredibly solid punishes, and has forced Iceman to put the nade away and bring out the Burchuck.
Honestly, I don't know about this Burchuck. I know it could be considered an anti-ribbon arm, but the way Yeta moves is not like other ribbons. He does not stay in the same place for very long at all. And we're seeing Iceman already down to 2/3. Maybe he's faltering under the rush pressure, or maybe that Burchuck is just not doing the work he wants it to.
It looks like Yata's just having an easy time working around that Burchuck. It's not really giving him much pressure. But one of the strongest things about the Burchuck is its rush. And yet Iceman does have one ready with a health pool pretty close to even. Going to just dodge right over that and catches Yata, doing 275 damage, and is now in a light lead.
Yeah, Iceman is now finally the one to come on top of the rush situation. Does knock Yeta down into red with that chip. 250 versus 500 health. And now Yeta is one hit away from losing this round. Oh, that was so close. Oh.
Yata catching him with another popper shot gives Yata a lot of very solid breathing room. But Iceman gonna quickly get another rush ready. This is a shield breaker loadout. If Iceman just forces Yata into anything, that's gonna be a lot of damage. Doesn't need it this time, but he does have that opportunity should he choose to go for it.
Yeah, his rush is also very well spread out, so it'll cover a lot of ground, especially if he delays the Burchuck. You can cover so much of it. Goes for a grab right there. Yeta is gonna get rushed in a second, so Iceman might need to back off a little.
He does back off thanks to the popper's charge state. Ends up getting caught by a rush though, taking 165 damage. Yata not able to follow up with any blows from the toaster.
And Iceman still has that rush, has not popped it yet. A little bit of a health disadvantage, but that doesn't really matter with opponent's head. It's a good poke right there, and as Yeta trapped in the corner, this honestly is good.
That's a shield breaker.
145 on top of the chip.
That's the danger of a shield breaker loadout, is it's capable of doing so much damage even on top of breaking through a shield. Yata still ahead on health though, and now has rush ready. If he gets a win confirmed, that's going to be a KO.
Goes for the rush
Chooses
right there.
to just go in for that. Gets the timing in with the toaster for 230 damage. And now just looking for a little bit more damage.
There's the ice.
Oh, breaks right out of that
so
freeze.
Close. Iceman now in last hit scenario. Almost gets the explosion there, but not quite. Gonna have rush in a sec, but he's gonna have to live to see the day he'll get it.
Yeah, Iceman, if he goes for a shield breaker, that's going to be a KO.
Oh, that's going to KO.
Ends up catching him and follows up with enough damage taking Yada down, bringing the score to 1-1.
Yeah, Yeta almost fell out of that. The very edge caught him. Oh my gosh, Iceman barely clutching that out. Let's see what we're gonna do for bans now. Alright, Iceman is gonna be banning... Drum roll, please. Iceman, please type faster so I don't have to drum roll forever.
I mean, you don't have to.
I got it, it's dramatic effect. I'm not even doing a drum roll, I'm doing a drum circle beat.
You're just patting your lap. It's a good lap pat.
Let's see. Via and Buster, alright. Oh, there's
And we're gonna go straight back into sparring ring. These two are looking for some good sparring matches in this grand finals.
Okay, let's see. Any changes? No, both sides still rocking the same loadout. I wonder if Iceman's gonna go back to the nade, or it's like he's gonna stay with the Birdchuck. What worked before will work this time.
It's a solid tool, and it was working out for him. The rush opportunities, especially in this tight-knit area, it has been working out very solid.
Oh, good knockdown right there by Yeta. Health is pretty close at the beginning of a match. Even what the health says does not always determine what happens. There's so many factors here, like Iceman having a way faster rush game than Yeta does. Already has his while Yeta's only at about half. Gets blown away though, so Yeta's gonna be able to charge up, establish himself a little bit more.
Yada just trying to find a way in, get some pressure, get some advantage going. But that Birdchuck is just working out very well for Iceman, especially with the effectiveness of the Tri-Blast in its pokes. It's just allowing him to set himself up with some very solid aims, some great accuracy. But he's gonna get caught by that rush, taking 350 damage. Yada now just looking for grab a couple more hits. Iceman, though, definitely in a position where he can just rush Yada down.
And as
and
he
it
does
will...
right there, he literally rushes.
Ends up missing out on a lot of damage, though, allowing Yada to stay in this match. But is now quickly knocked down to a final bar of health. Both vulnerable to a finishing blow now from literally any stray bullets.
Oh my gosh, that explosion was so close to hitting Yeta. Everything is... I think they're at like dead even health. If they finished right now, I think it would be a draw. We'll have to see how this turns out. Oh, I don't know. How's this going to turn out? It was a draw!
And now
Oh
it's
my
a draw!
word. I've actually never seen Ribbon's draw animation before. That was really cute.
You've never seen it before?
No, I've never seen a Ribbon get a draw before.
They get very upset.
Oh, that's gonna not quite. Oh my gosh! Yeta challenge.
Yada going in with a nice punish.
That was a really smart way to escape. It was really risky, but in the end, it paid off.
Yada starting off with a solid health lead, but he's gonna quickly have that taken away from a quick chain of blasts and gets comboed down a second time.
Oh, Yeta doing really well there, using the air stall to help evade in addition to his jumps. And gets a good knockdown. However, now he's getting knocked down again. These two are like dead even health right now. Iceman with a little bit of an advantage, plus Rush gonna burn it right here. That's gonna do a lot.
That's gonna be a
of
shield breaker.
125. Yeta gonna get Rush in just a second though. With a win.
Iceman though looking to close this out before that rush is available. Yada likely will want to hold on to it for this next round. Yada getting another opportunity for a potential win confirm, but just not going for it. Just focusing on more safe play. But that's going to allow Iceman to take this first round.
Yada keeps dropping his shield just a little too early. That cost him, I think, an entire set before.
It's definitely cost him a lot of rounds. It's...
Oh, that was an honest rush right there.
It's in the heat of a match. It's so hard to keep up with that timing sometimes.
Yeah, especially when these two players are as mobile as they do. Iceman is not going to be in the same position as he was when that explosion even hit your shield, and the particle effect might blind you to his next spot. So there really is a kind of an internal pressure to go for things. Another honest rush right there. Yeta trying to get an evasion. However, he gets restood, which is really good for him.
Only takes about 70 damage alongside the chip, so definitely a lot lighter than what it could have been if you took the full brunt of that rush.
Yeta just trying to put in some hits with the popper, but Iceman is not in the same place, or he's hitting them out with the Burchuck or Tri-Blast. There's just so much parry potential that he's using against Yeta. Yeta has rushed and gets knocked backwards, which gives Iceman his own. These two are in a dead heat right now.
Yeta trying to close Iceman down. And we're going to have a quick rush trade. That rush just coming out a little bit faster than Iceman's and allows Yeta to successfully take the lead. But that's only going to last for a few moments as Iceman just continuing to blast Yeta down and keep that health pool as close as possible. Iceman now on a final hit. 8 seconds left on the clock. Does get the freeze. Is going to go in for the combo and now has a lead. In 2 seconds, he will claim it, but he needs to not get hit by anything.
That was so close. I thought that popper... I wasn't sure at all what was going to happen there. Good stuff by Iceman, who goes up 2-1. Oh my word, that was intense.
Iceman making the right call there. Definitely fearing a potential grab, but Yeta just did not go for one. Was probably expecting Iceman to just continue being on the move and ends up getting to get away with that game.
Let's see. What are the bans gonna be?
This can potentially be it. If Iceman can take this last game, he will claim the set, but Yeta still has the opportunity to potentially take 2 games themselves and end up winning this tournament.
Via and Buster going to be the bans from Iceman. Those are the ones that have been carrying him throughout this whole set. They're going to go to Mausoleum here. A stage we've seen these two go to plenty of times today. Alright,
Both players
Iceman's
likely just gonna stick with these loadouts. They've been working very well for them. That said, Iceman has started to get his loadout to work a little more effectively against Yeta's, but there's little reason for Yeta to change because it still just works so well.
Yeah, you'd think as time goes on, Yeta would be adapting to this loadout, but it seems like Iceman has been optimizing it more and more as time goes on. He's been evolving his play around Yeta's habits. He is still getting hit sometimes by these explosions in his disadvantage. But for right now, he's got Yeta against the ropes.
Having the Burchuck instead of the nade especially is helping just in the regard that there's a lot less damage that Iceman is taking from his own self-explosions.
Yeah, not to mention, there's less lag on the end there if it gets parried down. You're not going to have to worry about the explosion going off. Oh my god!
That rush was him, but it did not work out.
Counter rush coming out by Yeta. However, he will get knocked down, and not much health is separating these two. Yeta does get another good punch in, but everything he's trying to go for on Iceman's landing is being negated by this falling Burchuck.
That Burchuck just covering so much ground. Yeta getting frozen yet again and just continuing to take blow after blow from Iceman. Now Iceman ready with a rush. If he gets a solid confirm, can potentially do a KO, but will likely need a little bit more on top of that. Yeta almost ready with a rush as well, and if they can get it to connect, we'll be able to easily take Iceman down.
Honestly, Iceman's rushes that he's going for right now
are
just a little too straightforward. He's not going for any weird jank stuff. He's just going for your traditional, I am in your face, you throw out punch, I rush now. But Ribbon Girl is way too slippery to fall for that stuff.
Starting off this next round, Yeta going in with rush ready, but he's going to quickly take a couple of blows from Iceman. Iceman getting another knockdown. Is starting off pretty strong, quickly building up rush, is going to be ready to throw it out very soon. And Yeta is in a very bad position, just backed up to that wall, just struggling to find any way through. Doesn't get the rush out in time and gets grabbed during that freeze.
Now Yeta
Iceman
has to
just-
constantly do these short hops. He has to throw out these arms to go for some. His evasion alone is not going to be enough. But because of that, his evasion is even more limited. Iceman has just totally locked Yeta down in this situation.
Yeah, just trying to find a way through and is now vulnerable to a shield break KO or just a single solid hit.
Yeah, I think Iceman is going to be pretty content not going for that rush. There's still 40 seconds left on the clock, which Yeta could come back in. But his health is so low that one mistake could spell the end for him. Oh, and there was the
And
mistake.
that's going to be that final hit. Reaching right out, catching Yata. And now Iceman looking for one more round to take this tournament. Yata, hanging in by a thread, needs to win this round to bring the score to 2-2. It's going to start off pretty strong, successfully blocking that rush and evading a lot of the shield pressure. Yata
Oh, is
started
that
off with a
confirmed?
strong lead and gets a win. Ibuki confirmed. 235 damage off the 120.
Oh, it gets another popper on Iceman's wake up. Iceman is the one getting iced out now. Complete reversal of how it was last time. However, he has found his dominant spot again back on the middle here. And if he keeps bullying Yeta like he was before, we could see a swing around. He has to watch out for those
That popper is
poppers,
going to
though.
give Yata so much room to work with.
And that Burchuck has not been hitting as much as I think Iceman would like it to this time. Does get a freeze. Goes for an explosion follow-up instead of a grab mix-up. Just the straightforward damage can be your friend sometimes. Iceman has rushed, but Yeta's going to get his in a second. And we've all seen how Yeta keeps coming out on top of these rushes.
Both players looking for just a little bit more damage. Iceman can potentially take this if he gets the rush to stick, but he has to get the rush to stick, and he doesn't seem like he's going to have too much luck doing that. Yata just looking for a single more hit. Both players dancing
good
and weaving
explosion.
between their strikes. That Triblast giving Iceman an
that it?
opportunity to
Is that
leap
it?
right in, and
That's
he's gonna
gonna be
connect,
it.
gets the finishing touch, and that is the end of this tournament.
Iceman whiffing so many rushes, getting punished for so many throughout this whole set. But in the end, his rush is going to be what allows him to take it over Yeta, and Iceman is your champ of today.
Iceman taking the EU Arms Challenge first place. Yata coming in with a very strong second, getting a bracket reset, and forcing Iceman to have to go all out.
Man,
Ridwood's
nothing personal,
taking a
kid.
solid third place.
I must go all out just this once. I'm sorry, Sensei. And Iceman pulled it through. Good games to everybody. Very entertaining tournament to watch.
Yes, it was all fantastic. With that we are going to close out the stream here. Thank you all for watching. Hama,
That's me.
thank you
Hi.
for being my co-commentator.
Yes, I did
How
that.
can the lovely people find you if they thought your voice was lovely and entertaining or interesting in any way and wish to bug you more?
Well, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, if I'm logged into the wrong Twitter account, I'm logged into my Hama no context Twitter.
I already posted it.
Oh, you posted my
So you
Twitter?
could just
Alright,
be-
cool.
Yeah, you could just be
yeah.
like at
Just
this.
follow me on Twitter. I'm also active on Discord in most of the ARMS servers. And of course, I'll be most active in Network Era, where Era and I are throwing tournaments even later today. We'll be doing COTE. I'll also be commentating the North American Fellows TV tournament next week with Sedge. Just a lot of things you can catch me in, so if you guys enjoy me, I'll be around.
And as usual, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me in my Discord community. I usually stick around there. As well, you can also find brackets for both the EU and NA Scrapstar series, both of which will be happening tomorrow at around 8 p.m. either Rifa time or Eastern time. It's around then.
Are we calling
Oh, that's
European
it.
time Rifa time now?
That's what I got into the habit of.
I like it.
It's just easier.
I like
it's
it.
easier for me to remember. Much
You know, I have
easier.
no idea what that time. I just call it like Europe time.
I like Griffith time more. Anyways, with that, we are gonna close up the stream. Thank you all for watching. I'll talk to you all later. Ciao.